Sarna, capital system of the Sarna commonality and one of the jewels of the Capellan Confederation. For centuries, Sarna had been a beacon of industry and technological sophistication, once housing large populous cities across all of its continents, feeding a healthy commercial manufacturing industry. But, like the rest of the Ionosphere, the succession wars brought death and destruction to Sarna. Today, although it's only a shadow of its former self, it remains an important world. Its aerospace and dropship manufacturing centres, combined with its centralised location in Capellan space, have made it a prime target for the Federated Sun's ongoing invasion of the Confederation. House Davion has charged the elite 5th Certis Fusiliers with taking Sarna. In order to complete our mission, we will first need to make contact with their commanding officers, General Gordon Hartstone and Colonel Anthony Harkness. But something seems to be wrong. Although we jumped into the system 7 days ago, I have not yet been able to hail anyone on the wideband Federated Sun's command channel. I'm getting nothing but silence every time I try. Even more disturbing, the local news is reporting that the Fusiliers have attacked and destroyed Sarna's HPG relay station, which has cut the system out of contact with the rest of the Ionosphere, spreading panic among Sarna's populace. Our mission to recover the stolen MEO codebooks is far too important for us to abandon. Whatever the odds, we must make contact with the 5th Certis Fusiliers and request their assistance in finding and destroying the stolen codebooks. Otherwise, the entire security of Operation Rat could be compromised. Let's just hope we're not too late.
Hello again folks, welcome back to MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, where today we are going to be wrapping up Operation Rat as part of the Legend of the Kestrel Lancers DLC. When we last left off, we had just finished up the conquest of Tigris, but we were setting off in hot pursuit of some stolen codebooks which have been transmitted by the Capellan Maskarovka to Sarna. It's taken us around about 5 months to get here. Where is here? Well, Sarna is in the center of the Capellan Confederation. We previously visited Tikhonov as part of Phase 2 of Operation Rat, then Tigris as part of Phase 3, and now we've come down here where Phase 5 of Operation Rat, the invasion of the Capellan Confederation by the Federated Suns, has just commenced. And despite what that thing said here, 55 days, unsurprisingly, with a war raging all along the borders, it has taken them longer than that to get here. We've had to take a little bit of a detour to get around the campaigns wherever we can find transportation. Also, there was some news. It's not reflected on the map here, but the Capellan Confederation is no longer in this shape. Let's check that news first. March 3rd, 3029, the Tikhonov Free Republic declares independence. In an announcement today from Elgin, Pavel Rydzik, former Confederation Strategic Military Director, declared independence from the Capellan Confederation. So one of the 5 regions of the Confederation, the most forward end of the realm, has broken away, and that is going to have disastrous ramifications for them. With dwindling support from House Liao, the Tikhonov commonality was under pressure and cut off from the rest of the Confederation, leading to Rydzik brokering a deal with the Federated Suns. In fact, the Federated Suns has Liao themselves to thank for this, because they had been fed false information about Rydzik potentially betraying them and attempted to assassinate him, an assassination which was foiled by Federated Suns agents, and thereby they created the exact set of circumstances that they were most afraid of, where Rydzik decided to betray his home realm and create a new state all of his own after he had, essentially survived an assassination by his former masters. And not to mention, he's not just a random commander. He is the most senior officer within the entire Capellan Confederation Armed Forces. So yeah, it really was a disaster for the Capellan Confederation, even more so when you factor in the fact that the armed forces of the Federated Suns were able to pivot and now bring more of their military to bear against the rest of the Confederation, now that they had signed a peace with this Corward realm that had sprung up towards Terra. Aided by the AWFS and House Davian liaison General Arden Sortek, our old friend, Ridzik established his own independent nation and declared himself the Supreme Lord. Seemingly overnight, the worlds of the Tikhonov commonality quickly established a new independent government and reformed their military from defected Capellan units into the Tikhonov Free Republic. Ridzik now calls on Hansa-Davian for control over the planet Tikhonov so he can reunite his nation's true homeworld into the Republic. And so while those two might have been at peace, in theory anyway, the issue of Tikhonov was straight away a contentious issue. So Elgin was where their capital was of the Free Republic, but the clue is in the name. It's the Tikhonov Free Republic. They wanted all of the former worlds that were part of their commonality, but having shed so much blood to win these systems, Hansa-Davian was loath to let them have them back, especially Tikhonov, one of the 3 most industrious planets in the entire inner sphere. He wasn't just going to hand it over to someone with whom he had been fighting only a couple months ago. So yeah, they may have been friends for the time being, but they were friends of convenience more than close allies. Elsewhere, the Leiden Commonwealth is continuing Operation Götterdämmerung and rolling into the Draconis Combine, having a lot of great successes, while Kurita is otherwise occupied fighting the Wolf Dragoons down here. They survived their engagement at Misery, but as the Fourth Succession War got underway, I'm not going to remember which ones it was. I think it was Haddo's Son, potentially Barlow's End, that vaguely rings a bell. But I think there were 3 or 4, or potentially even 5 massive showdowns. I think the last one was on Crossing, actually, with these mercenaries over here, as they were ground down. The most powerful mercenary unit anywhere in the Inner Sphere was essentially laid to waste by the might of the Draconis Combine, except for the fact that they were killing 2 or 3 or even 4 times as many people as they were losing themselves. And so it was a disaster for the Draconis Combine. But Takashi Kurita, he felt like he had a personal vendetta against Jamie Wolf, their commander. So it's all going wrong for the nations of the Concord of Captain. And if you're wondering what's happening in the Free Worlds League, well, they were trying to, stay unnoticed, hide in their corner, so to speak. They could see how badly it was going for their allies and wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. I say that, I think there was a little bit of effort around here to maybe steal a couple Steiner worlds where they were otherwise distracted. But what ended up happening is once the when the Free Tikhonov Republic became independent, they immediately, as an effort to not get steamrolled by the Federated Suns, went and attacked the Free Worlds League. And of course Marik fled for their lives because they thought, oh my god, there's about to be a new front open up where these two allies alongside the Tikhonov Free Republic are going to roll into our realm. And so numerous systems up in this corner of space were abandoned to the nascent Republic here. Further south, further rimward I should say, the Duchy of Andurian were clamoring for the Marik commanders to go to war not against the Fedcom alliance, but their allies, notional allies within the Capellan Confederation here. And indeed, the Andurian commanders were launching numerous raids, I forget what planets, up and down this frontier, which was a major embarrassment when these two nations were supposed to be allied. But really, it was Kurita holding the Concord of Captain together, and once their leadership kind of went off the rails, everyone's like in retreat on this side, and the DCMS is getting trashed by Wolf Dragoons. There was nothing to hold the Captain, Concord of Captain together. There was a second piece of news. Liao's new heavy mech already being used against itself. We saw this at the start of Tigris. The first new battle mech design produced in the Capellan Confederation in centuries, first alongside the Raven actually, which I think was 1 year earlier, the Cataphract is now being used against our beleaguered nation. So this must be some Capellan news we're reading here. Only 4 years into the production, when its only factory on Tikhonov was captured by Davian forces, that we participated in this, and Liao's new heavy battle mech is being seen among Federated Sun's forces, suggesting that newly produced cataphracts from the Tikhonov plant are being used to fill gaps in the ranks. This was a major embarrassment for the Capellans. As you can imagine, first new mech in centuries, a lot of news, a lot of fanfare around that, only for that mech to be taken from their hands and immediately used to subjugate their own worlds. It was a humiliation for those involved in the Cataphract project. Loyal Capellans are furious at this turn of events, but no one has put their feelings to action quite like MechWarrior Grigory Kovalenko, who has recently announced his quest to take back every cataphract possible from non-Capellan hands, doing it in a cataphract of his own that he calls Ilya Muromets. What is the origin of this name here? I'm not sure. Someone can fill me in on the history. I know it because in the First World War there was some Russian airships. No, that's not the right word. That's aeroplanes. Essentially, they were kind of like luxury, as much as there was luxury in 1914. Air transports that were converted into bombers. Incredible machines. They were like huge 4-engined behemoths at a time where like things were made out of paper, quite literally, and strings, wing warping, and didn't have proper air flight controls. So yeah, very significant chapter in air combat, the Ilya Muromets, but I don't think that's actually the origin of the name. Grigory has vowed to lead a crusade against the Davian interlopers, not resting until the Confederation reclaims the cataphract's manufacturing plants on Tikhonov. We actually have one of those cataphracts in our arsenal, and speaking of arsenal, as I've said before, each DLC mission has a unique pool of mechs you can purchase. So let's have a quick look at them. We've not seen a 1D Battlemaster yet. I guess that's, losing the SRMs in it. Does the Battlemaster have SRMs by default? I think it does. The 1G is the standard. There's a Laser Black Knight, another of these cataphracts, a Cyclops, which we have. This is just a random fire starter, but this one's part of the draw. Hunchback, again, random Locust. A Marauder 3D, so this is the Davian variant that drops the autocannon for another large laser, and probably swaps the ammo for heat sinks, although with that many energy weapons it's probably still got some serious heat issues. Orion, quick draw, another of the Stalkers. Ours is finally repaired after half a year of hard working on it. A Victor, a Liao Warhammer here, and most interesting of all, an early Succession Wars variant, the original variant of the Zeus, that we now have the 6S, the down-teched version, but the 5S was the original, LRM-15 with Artemis, an ER large laser, and an ultra autocannon. This is a powerful machine. I think during Operation Galahad exercises, I said I was going to change the rules about what I could buy at markets. Previously, it's just been hero mechs, but I said I'd buy rare spawns during the DLCs if we don't see them normally. And this is what I had in mind when I made that change. However, Comstar very obligingly decided to field one of these against us in the final chapter of the game. And since we already have it in our sticker book, I'm instead going to go back to my original rules. I haven't broken them yet, and we are not going to buy anything in the shops except for hero mechs. This would have been a fun thing to pick up. Instead, we will have to use our own Zeus, which we have teched out tier 4 weapons across the board. But it's not quite on the same league. Do you know what it does need, though? It needs a proper paint scheme. There we go. Everyone should be Crucis Lancers. And while we're here, let's... that can do... Hang on, where are these weapons? I need to check. I do need to check. Left arm AC, but the missiles are in the arm. That's very unusual, but it's fine. Left torso, okay, yeah, center torsos. Everything's on the left-hand side, mostly. But I think that's fine. That's a fine weapons loadout. Oh, weapons layout, I should say, that's the problem. Right, we've talked about this a long time. Let's check our mission briefing. Major Rihanna Campbell, we're on our final approach to Sarna, and I'm still getting nothing on the Davian command channel. I'm also picking up large amounts of space debris in shallow orbit right outside of Sarna's exosphere. It looks to be the debris of a number of destroyed dropships or satellites, but they are too small to make out any discernible origin. Wait a minute. Commander, I'm just beginning to get a read on the 5th Certus Fusilier's encoded channel. It's incredibly faint. They appear to be sending an SOS. The message is only a single set of coordinates, accompanied by a single repeating text transmission. Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is the 5th Certus Fusiliers calling for assistance from any forces loyal to the Federated Suns. We are in need of assistance at the following coordinates. No holovid, no audio, and no declaration of any kind of identification. And the signal on this is so faint that I can't even get a read on anything beyond the text transmission and the coordinates. I don't like this, Commander. I don't like this one bit. Yeah, it sounds very much like a trap. Unfortunately, these coordinates are the only lead we have at finding the Fusiliers, and we need those codebooks and their help, or everything will be lost. If this signal is legitimate, we'll need to assist the Fusiliers and make contact with General Heartstone or Colonel Harkness if we are going to have any hope of completing our mission. But be extremely cautious, Commander. This has all the makings of a trap to lure Davian loyalists into an ambush. I would not risk our most effective mechs until we have a better idea of what's going on. If it's as bad as it looks, we are going to need to prepare for the long haul. Something I forgot to do, actually, before we begin this mission is check this cantina. Well, bollocks to all of these here. They're all rubbish. Kintaros are so rare. What can we drop? We're not going to collect 3 javelins. We really need to, but we could be there all day trying to get those. All day, I mean, like literally a decade. Ah, dear, oh dear. Let's drop the kill javelins. Because even though we're likely to... Hang on, where... Mech Hunter, where is that? Oh, it's frustrating. We seem to have gotten a very bad selection here. We had 2 of those bloody spiders. Neither of them, they both asked for a very specific spider, the one that we don't have. I guess we've got to drop. Yeah. Let's drop the... collect the javelins. Yeah, you know what, we need to drop both of them, don't we? Let's drop this. And then I'm just going to accept them and drop them so we get a brand new list of Cantina missions after the next one. Excuse me while we do this. And we know we're not going to get this one, so I can drop it already. Okay, right, let's continue on then. Commander, if we are going to survive on a hostile world such as Sarna, we'll need to find other forces loyal to the Federated Suns. An SOS from the 5th Certus Fusiliers might be the lead we need to find allied forces in the area. Be extra careful, as this has all the makings of a trap, and we have no idea how long it will take us to complete our mission. Well, this one's going to take less than a day. But we will see. Oh, we've got more pips to spend now. Let's max out this salvage and go for this too. And we've got a little bit of damage coverage as well. Now, I happen to know from playing this mission previously in the past that this was one that is a little bit of a difficulty spike. So I think I'll just play it cautiously and I should be all right. With that damage coverage, we should be fine. We're operating in Crater Cobra's territory. It was one of the mercenary units sent alongside the 5th Certus Fusiliers to help them conquer the world of Sarna. I'm going to talk more about that as this DLC goes on, because we've already spent a long time at the start here. But there was more than meets the eye to what Hansa Davian was doing here on Sarna. And yeah. Let's try and track down the missing soldiers. I think this is good. 2 80-tonners, 2 65-tonners. You're the best missile one we could have. I think we're ready. Let's go.
Attention. Prepare for battle mech departure.
Look how small that catapult is there. It's obscured by the walkway. I mean, I don't think the catapult's small. We're just enormous in the Zeus. Let's get out there, team. Find these guys.
Commander, the communications disarray caused by the Comstar HPG relay station's destruction has allowed us to land on Sarna undetected. But I'm still not getting any responses on the Federated Sun's wideband. The only thing we're detecting is a faint SOS signal from the 5th Certis Fusilier. I've marked its approximate location on your HUD. If there are any Federation forces out there, we need to make contact with them ASAP if we are to have any hope of surviving this deep into Capellan territory. But be on your guard, Commander. This SOS signal could be a trap.
Got it, Rihanna. Let's get over there then. 2 kilometers away. I can scan 5 heavy mechs and 5 tanks from over here. That looks like our allies. I think I can make it down here without taking any damage. Actually, I'll walk a little bit further along. Over on the ground there's a Patton tank. That's a brand new design introduced in 3026. I forgot that there's not just new mechs introduced over the course of this game, but new tanks as well. Although I can't think of any others besides the Patton off the top of my head. So could these be the last survivors of the 5th Certis Fusiliers? We'll find out shortly. My team is falling behind, but we'll have plenty of time for them to catch up.
They appear to be members of the Fusiliers, transmitting IFF frequencies to them now. Let's go up and introduce ourselves.
Incoming mechs, stay where you are. Your IFF says you're with the 2nd Cruises Lancers. Why are the Lancers here on Sarna?
The Lancers aren't here in force, it's only us. We're here on special assignment from Marshal Jackson Davion. We have an urgent matter to discuss with General Hearthstone.
These mechs have seen better days.
We believe he's been KIA.
What about Colonel Harkness?
Definitely KIA. His Marauder was bombarded by Inferno missiles. When he tried to punch out, Inferno gel poured into his cockpit and burned him alive.
Ooh, rough way to go.
Who's in charge here then?
You're looking at her. Captain Elena Damu, 5th Certis Fusiliers, 1st Battalion.
Just a company commander.
As much as I would love to know why you're here, that is going to have to wait. We've got bigger problems at the moment. We're waiting on our salvage teams to strip this Gazelle for any surviving provisions. We're not going to make it much longer if we can't salvage as much of its supplies as we can.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't think the Gazelles were in this game. I know it's just wreckage, but I thought it was something brand new for clans. I know the design is centuries old, so...
On our position. They must have tracked your approach here.
Okay, guys.
My men are exhausted and stretched to the brink. I cannot afford to lose any more of them. Help us fight through this with minimal losses, and I'll see what I can do about helping you with your special assignment.
Got it. Let's help them out here then. Incoming.
Focus target has been updated. Dynasty unit, take out all mercenary forces.
Where am I firing that AC there? Something else coming over the hill.
Tango destroyed.
I don't want to be this close to the Centurion, really. Take his arm off if I can. Never mind that, just blow through his chest.
Captain Damu, do you have dropship
Thunderbolt.
support to extract your unit?
No, our dropship support was destroyed in low orbit shortly after we made planetfall. We've been tracking down and salvaging whatever supplies we can.
Oof, I don't like this. Where's my blue team here?
We could find. I'll be straight with you. After a solid month of dodging hostile forces, we're on our last legs.
What's happened here?
Sarna was a trap. Our MEO intelligence was completely
Hello,
inaccurate.
Catapult.
They said that the
Cross the
system was only
streams.
defended by a few regiments of militia with possible light mech reserve support. What we ended up getting was all 4 regiments of McCarran's armored cavalry. They waited for us to make planetfall before attacking our dropships as they tried to return to a low orbit, trapping all of us.
Oh, you can punch back. Okay.
Then their mech and vehicle forces pinned us against the Grey River and slaughtered everyone. Only a handful of us were able to make it out. If we don't secure these supplies, we won't last much longer.
Oh my god.
What you see here is pretty much all that's left of the 5th Certus Fusiliers.
No, no. This is about to go badly wrong, team.
Deployed near you.
Firing on the commander's
That was
requested
unfortunate.
target.
Oh, and that's even more unfortunate for that charger. Somewhere there is an arm. There we go. They came down right on top of someone's head. Oh,
Focusing the shared target.
being flanked here.
Shared target identified.
I didn't see that coming on the map until it was too late.
Right on cue. VTOL on approach. Have you attempted to contact any jump ships at the Sarna jump point?
We've tried multiple times, but the Confederation have seemed to blanket the entire system in some sort of thick electromagnetic field that's completely scrambling anything that isn't.
Oh, I don't have the
communication
elevation to
offline.
get these guys.
That would explain why we weren't reading anything on the wideband on our.
Help me out here,
system.
team. Thank you.
Target destroyed.
We're on your target, Commander.
More incoming. Oh my god, evasive. Got him.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Oh, he's gonna come down on my head.
Eliminated.
One lance left. How's my team holding up? Are you the one that they landed on? I think it might have been the catapult or the charger. Where's the Orion going? Oh,
New target trailing.
Shep.
Your target, Commander.
We've got a heavy in our rear as well. About to run out of ammo. It's fine. Ammo's meant to be spent.
Target destroyed.
Let's help out this Orion.
Towards the system, we caught the news saying that you blokes took out the local HPG station.
I don't believe that for a second. No matter what
ECM?
the Confederation's state-run news says. The HPG was our only hope of contacting anyone off-world about our dire situation here.
That's me out of
Makes
AC.
no sense that we would destroy the only means of saving ourselves. With Liao shooting down our dropships and the HPG destroyed, we have no way of contacting anyone off-planet. Whoever destroyed the HPG most likely condemned us all to death.
Target
Yeah, something seemed fishy about that. You have to be absolutely mental to even think about crossing Comstar and their HPG stations. Last time someone tried, the entire Free Worlds League found themselves without interstellar communications for almost a year. And they only got it back because their Captain General capitulated to Comstar's every demand.
Was that a Victor? Just got the briefest glimpse of something with a V and an assault mech. Everyone's going this way. Let's march with them. I've managed to keep most of the guys alive. Lost a couple tanks. They're just guarding the Gazelle. There it is. It was a Victor.
ammo depleted.
I didn't realize that was my last. I hit him. Grasshopper's on point. We've got a Victor of our own. I'm just 3 lasers now. Yeah, mention there of the Comstar War halfway through the Second Succession War, when the Free Worlds League was interdicted. I will discuss more at the end of this mission. But yeah, Alana Damu talking about her MWIO intelligence being misleading, out of date maybe. It's red armor here. This guy just wanted death. Oh, what a tease! He's turned around just as we were about to get his red armor. Fine, well we can fight. There we go.
Destroyed.
Captain Damu, I'm showing no further enemies on scope.
Nice work, team.
It looks like we are in the clear.
That went okay.
Lancers really pulled through for us. Thank you. Stick around till we're done here, then follow us. We'll talk about Marshal Davian's special assignment for you once we reach our encampment.
Okay.
Word of advice, though. Lose the dropship. Keep it suborbital if you need to relocate. The Big Mac will shoot you out of the sky if they think you're assisting us. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck in the trenches with us till this is all over.
So we're facing the Big Mac here on Sarna. Apart from Wolf's Dragoons, the most powerful mercenary unit anywhere in the Inner Sphere. In fact, by this point, with the Wolf's Dragoons being ground down to virtually nothing, I think they have 18 companies at this point in the war. But yeah, the Big Mac far outnumbers them with 5 whole regiments, 2 of which are elite. So they are very, very powerful and intimidating threats for us to be stranded on this planet now that the HBG has been destroyed. What do we get here? Jaeger, you know what? We've not used one of these yet. And even though it's considered by most to be a piece of crap, I probably have some high tier stuff in it which we can put in for a laugh. Let's take these as well. And a random one of those. That'll do, that'll do. Thanks to your intervention, we've managed to rescue the refugee. What? Your role in helping this House Deviant spy escape has been noted. What are you on about, you two? We've seen this before, where like the little text here just doesn't make sense. And I think I remember watching it back in the edit one time and wondering if it's because I'd like gone for lunch and then reloaded the mission and it glitched something. But apparently not. I feel almost as if the game has been told to display something here, but not given any text to display, so it's just doing something generic. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Team, I'm amazed. This mission, Fenstrom, 7 of 8. Good stuff. Good work. Yeah. I was expecting a much tougher mission there, and I wonder actually in the past, I've always thought little of the Zeus, and just because my first outing in it is always this mission, and I think I've always played it poorly in the past, where we hide inside the crater and then they just charge over the hill and overrun us. Having some more space to maneuver there, even though they did literally land on our heads at one point, was definitely beneficial. Plus, giving it some better tech to match the other technology in our mechs made it a lot more viable. So, sorry Zeus, I will try and give you more respect going forwards. Yeah, let's see, what have we got? Thanks for watching our backs out there, Commander. Ever since McAdams killed a majority of the Fusiliers on the Grey River, we've been in bad shape. Lots of the survivors that we found had severe injuries or infections after weeks of surviving off of Sarna's jungle. But we've recovered a handful of MechWarriors who are still fit for service after having their mechs blasted out from under them by the armoured cavalry. If you don't mind taking on the extra personnel, I'll assign them over to you to use as you see fit. They're good MechWarriors, but I just don't have enough equipment to keep them in this fight. When you're ready, let's see what made Marshal Davian feel the need to send you all the way out here to this hellhole on your lonesome. Fantastic. Finally, after a long time, we are picking up our 6th MechWarrior. So we will immediately put him to service. It looks like he's fairly good already. 37 of 47. He has the potential to be our highest yet, although once we send off our others to school, that will he will be surpassed. I see he has a max 10 in ballistics, but the others are only 5 and 6. That's interesting. So we've actually got to be careful about, be tactical in terms of what mech we assign him to. Before we forget, we can read his story. Lieutenant Miesto Stabjorn found himself thrust into the mercenary life when his family fortunes collapsed, leaving him with only a mech, some ammo, and a handful of sea-bills to his name. Well, that's not true. He was a soldier in the 5th Sartis Fusiliers, and he lost his mech, and then got thrust into the mercenary life that way. Whatever. This is his falsified background. Obviously, he did not get official, what's the word I'm looking for? Not dispensation. Let out of the military in an official sense. Right. Yeah, so I will need to be careful about him in terms of making sure he's in a ballistic mech. Frustratingly, we're trying to get our best ballistics to Fenstrom as well to max her out, because then we can put her in anything without concern. You can see how these guys are a lot more balanced in terms of their skill sets. Stabjorn, though, is a ballistics specialist, just without the trait. Okay, that's fine then. So, Sarna, it's becoming a lot more problematic than anyone expected. I think I read a news article about this in the past. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. But they talked about the ambassador being taken hostage by... It must have been in this one here. Or maybe it was in a mission briefing, actually. I can't recall. Yeah, the ambassador, quote-unquote, from the Capellan March within the Federated Suns traveled to the Capellan Confederation and was taken hostage by House Leal. That ambassador was none other than Duke Michael Hasek Davian, the brother-in-law to the first prince, Hansa Davian. Just like we saw in the news articles at the start of this game with Anton Marek and his brother Janosch, the Captain General, there was more going on than meets the eye here. Duke Michael Hasek Davian was secretly working with Maximilian Liao to supplant his brother-in-law and take control of the Federated Suns himself. However, this bit of information was fairly well known, although they couldn't prove it, to the intelligence agencies of the Federated Suns, the MWIO and DMI, or certainly the former anyway. And so they were taking advantage of that fact by feeding Hasek Davian false intelligence on where Federated Suns troops were going to strike next, and indeed hid the entire Operation Rat from him, excluded him from the planning stages, even though he was one of the most senior people in that command structure as a March Duke. And so when he thought he'd been busted, fled to the Capellan Confederation in a panic, thinking, oh god, Hansa Davian's about to come and get me, because clearly he's able to suss me out once the full succession war got underway. Maximilian Liao didn't see it this way. He thought that Michael had been a willing accomplice the whole time, had him arrested, and had him executed. Now, the 5th Certus Fusiliers weren't just nobodies within the Federated Suns. They were one of the most elite units in their entire armed forces. The problem was, though, that they were staunch supporters of Michael Hasek Davian, and that was a bit of a problem for Hansa Davian to have such a powerful unit only notionally under his control. Really, they would have been, if there was going to be a betrayal with the March Duke, they were going to be the first ones to take his side against Hansa Davian. Sending them to Sarna, and with incomplete intelligence, let's put it that way, was not a mistake. It was actually a betrayal by their commander, their commander-in-chief, Hansa Davian. He willingly sent them to this world, knowing that they would sustain heavy casualties, and then they would get reinforcements a little bit too late to help them out and finish the conquest of Sarna. He wanted the world, but he also saw the opportunity to rid himself of a problem in the 5th Certus Fusiliers. Don't let anybody tell you that Hansa Davian was a paragon of virtue. No, he was as scheming and conniving as any other successor lord was. He had to be. I won't begrudge him too much for it, but that's certainly nothing to be lauded either. So yeah, the problem is, it's created a situation where his entire Operation Rat might be about to unravel because he has unwittingly created, Hansa Davian has unwittingly created this situation where these stolen codes are now not able to be recovered because the one unit in a position to do so are the ones he sent to die. However, there are some mercenaries on world, but we don't have communication with them either, and I think pretty soon we will need to track them down. The other question on everyone's mind is what the hell is going on with this HPG, and I think I will wait until another mission or two to discuss that in greater detail, but certainly there were other events at play. But because we have already taken our time here, I don't want to delay any longer. Let's start by trashing this one. What else? Do we have 5 SRM tier 4s? We may do, actually. SRM, I've already... SRM 2 tier 4s, I think that's what it was. We do have them. Yes. Nothing new, but we can kill harassers. Oops. I felt like I already had harassers, but apparently... Oh no, it was J. Edgar's, okay. Yeah. Damn it, I didn't even look. Was there javelins and fire starters? I don't think there was, actually. We didn't fight any in that last mission. Let's have a look at our arsenal. These guys should be simple repairs. The Jaeger mech might be a bit more involved. I would like to get him have a go with him, though. So he needs 2 AC5s, ideally the burst fires. I've got standard ones. Rapid fire ones. Let's give him 2 of these. And what kind of AC2s do I have? Frustrating. 2 that don't match. So it looks like we're using these ones. No, I've got 2 burst fire ones. A tiny, tiny, tiny amount of damage being done by these. If they fire even in a burst of 3, it's less than 1 damage per shot. Compare that to 6 for these. Good for taking down aircraft at a distance though, if nothing else. And we can give them some better medium lasers, why not? Tier 3s will do. Wow, Sarna has a penalty here. Are we even going to be on this world long enough to do this? I think the answer is no. Alright, I'm going to change a plan here. I'm going to take a picture of this loadout, and then I'm going to bring the Jaeger mech into play in a later episode, because I do want to use every chassis at least once. But we're not going to be here 3 months. And even if we... Well, maybe we will be, actually. No, we won't. Because I think it's better if I... Yeah, use him in the next DLC, at the start of the next DLC. Okay, Jaeger mech, you're being retired for now. Let's have a look. Right, Commander, I've reviewed your message from Marshal Davian. I understand the urgency of your mission, but to be completely honest, the Fusiliers are in no shape to help you out. Most of our unit died when McAdam's armored cavalry ambushed us. We've barely kept ourselves alive this past month by salvaging remains as we find them. We aren't in any shape to help out in a straight-up fight, let alone track down an enemy spy network on a hostile world. But not everything is hopeless. You see, we still believe that there may be at least one other pocket of Fusiliers out there, the ones that are said to have attacked Comstar's HPG. We've been hoping that they would respond to our SOS, but with all this damned long-range comms jamming, it's next to impossible to get a signal out. I'm actually amazed that you were able to pick it up. Probably because your dropship communications gear is much more powerful than your average mechs. That actually gives me an idea. If we can give you the transponder codes our mechs and vehicles use in the field, you should be able to track down those responsible for the HPG attack by using the sensor on your Leopard. I don't know what got in their heads to be dumb enough to attack one of Comstar's HPGs, but if they're still alive, we all stand a much better chance surviving this if we all work together. Safety in numbers and all that. If you help us out, I promise that we'll do our best to support you in completing your mission. I wouldn't worry about those codebooks going anywhere. With the system's HPG down and all commercial dropships grounded, they wouldn't be able to get those codes off-world even if they wanted to. In a sense, we've been both lucky and unlucky. The codebooks were transmitted off Tigris to Sarna, and they made it here, but they've arrived in a brief window of time where the HPG was still functional. Had it been destroyed, they never would have successfully received that transmission here at Sarna, and had it still been operational, they would have sent that transmission on before we could get access to us. So we've been, again, lucky and unlucky. Talking about HPGs, the last time one was attacked in anger that I can think of, I think some pirates have probably attacked them at various points throughout the Third Succession War, but certainly in the Second Succession War there was an incident which Alana Damu alluded to in that prior mission. In fact, no, it was Fahad who brought it up. The Captain General at the time, whose name I forget, even though he's one of my favourite characters, he attacked the orbiting HPG over Oriente, where his sister was based, destroyed it using his warships because he discovered that Comstar was playing all the successor states against each other. In his anger, he blew up one of their stations, killed his sister, who was duplicitous in that, and in retaliation, Comstar set out an interdiction against the entire Free Worlds League. a decision which had disastrous ramifications. For the next, I think, 3 or 4 years, the Free Worlds League lost dozens and dozens and dozens of systems as both the Capellan Confederation and Leiden Commonwealth advanced into their territory, reclaimed many of the systems that the Free Worlds League had captured in the early Succession Wars, and hell, even the Draconis Combine and Federated Suns travelled across space to take advantage and raid Free Worlds League worlds while they were unable to defend themselves. Having all their interstellar communications cut was, a disaster for them. And indeed, that may be the fate of whichever party is responsible for attacking the HPG here on Sarna. There are, as I said, other forces at work, and I may discuss them after this next mission. This is odd. Your scanners are showing that the Fusilier remnants that attacked Comstar's HPG are still hiding amongst the ruins of the facility. I didn't want to believe that they would do something as moronic as attack an HPG facility, but even if they did, we'll need to join forces to survive out here. Maybe with their help, we can stand a chance against McCarran's armoured cavalry. Do we have any time to do repairs? I don't know. We've got an extra 5 tons. We've got a little bit less salvage than the last 2 missions. Let's hope for a Javelin and Firestarter. Oh, 37 days. Let's wait here. Any news? No. Right. What do I want to add? Something to an 85 tonner? I kind of like the Zeus, to be honest. It worked well. Might be overstaying its welcome, actually. Let's see. To be honest, I think we've got the right... you know what? We can put a cataphract in instead of you. And we're going to try out our new pilot as well. Let's put Stabjorn in your place. And we'll take Shenzhang as well. You need an AC-10. You also need this AC-20. This is a good loadout, I think. Actually, I'm going to swap these two because he's got some missiles and energy weapons. Where's Charger? It's in alphabetical. Right, so now you have an opportunity to get all 3 weapon skills, and you have an opportunity to get a little bit more ballistics with the cataphract. And you're quite happy with the missiles, 8 out of 8. That's pretty good. And I'm going to stick in the Zeus for a second mission. I'm surprising myself here. The Zeus, I had written it off in the past, but I think it's actually a bit better than I expected. At least, well, it's got tier 4 equipment. Let's go.
Attention. Prepare for battle mech departure. Warning.
We need to get to the bottom of what's going on with this HPG facility.
Reactor online. Sensor online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Let's go. Friendlies on the field.
Ruins of the HPG relay station. I've marked the map with the last known location of the Fusilier's transponders being sent. Axe, they all went rogue. Be sure to be on your guard and watch
Wow,
your
look at
backs.
that.
McCarran's armored cavalry is still breathing down our necks, looking to finish us off for good. Let's go find our answers.
Are these guys using the Steiner paint scheme? Oh, hostiles in our rear. Jesus, that guy got sent miles. Oh, I don't have the elevation to even hit these guys. Nice.
Destroyed.
Yeah, the blue, white, and gold. That's Steiner. Why have they got that paint scheme on the Fusiliers? I don't know what cannon camo is for the Certus Fusiliers.
This is Captain Alana Damu of the 5th Certus Fusiliers. Who the hell are you, and why are you using our transponder
Hostile over there.
signals?
We serve a purpose much higher than yours, my
New
child.
target Griffin.
Griffin. Damn it.
You coming here.
Target
I'm
acquired.
afraid I cannot allow you to leave this place alive. Die, knowing your sacrifice will usher humanity into a new golden era.
Who are we dealing with here?
Screw that and screw I don't have any plans on dying today, but I do plan on dismantling you imposters piece by piece until you tell me what I want to know.
Damu is pissed. Can't believe how slow my laser is cycling here. I'm like, keep pressing the button expecting it to fire and nothing's happening. Oh, we've got aircraft overhead.
Our assigned mech target is on the field. Let's take it down.
Okay, we have something to destroy. I don't know where that one was going.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target
Let's
Fire on Commander's
finish
target.
this guy.
target.
We're on it, boss.
Shadowhawk here, getting charger.
Incoming missile.
Legs off. They're weak.
Target destroyed.
Coordinate fire
Assassin
on
over there.
this target.
Target assassin.
Heat is a little bit of a problem. Let's check our team. Regroup.
Follow the commander.
Victor's got a head exposed. Let's assist him before he goes down. Which rock? Oh, which way around the rock is the
New target.
That target is
Rifleman.
ours.
aircraft overhead again?
Acquired.
Damn it.
Target destroyed.
I don't trust myself to be able to hit that. We're getting flanked by a marauder over this way now, team.
Destroyed. New target.
Copy. Lance target identified.
I'm aware there's a warrior overhead, but I want this Warhammer down first. Marauder even.
Explosive kill, Commander.
Acquired.
Let's assist blue team again.
Destroyed.
Leopard landing in the distance.
Target destroyed.
You don't even realize you are nothing more than a pawn in someone else's game.
And I'm sure that ominous word vomit spewing from your mouth is supposed to actually mean something.
I like that move. Go on, team. That Victor is going to be in trouble soon if he advances much further that way. Ooh.
Target acquired.
Why am I firing medium lasers at that range? Change the target, guys. Get this Shadowhawk.
Shadowhawk.
I've got warriors coming in my rear again.
Target acquired.
Sent you here to die.
Ha! Not the first time the Fusiliers have heard that one.
Target destroyed.
We'll get him.
Punch. Okay, well, he was dead already.
Target acquired.
No, he's dead too.
Priority target
Another
received.
Steiner Griffin here. There you go, most of his firepower. He's got a hot-loaded LRM though, so
Low.
we need to keep firing at him.
But it's true. Champion wishes to see your Duke's prized Certus Fusiliers.
Target destroyed.
Oh, we're right in the middle of this.
Sacrifice. Retaliation for Duke Michael Hasek-Davian's treachery, selling Federation secrets directly to Maximilian Liao.
Commander's kill is about to explode. Clear the area.
Acquired. Ammo depleting.
There goes the last of my weapons. Or last of my ammo, rather. Take that larger laser off him.
Incoming missile. Heat critical.
I'm hearing a lot of very large autocannons. I think there's a hunchback right on top of me here. I'm actually going to switch.
Target acquired.
Yep.
That's a fairly active imagination you have there. The Confederation's ambassador to New Certus kidnapped our Duke and took him to Sion, where Max Liao executed him in cold blood.
Oh, is that what happened?
Duke Hasek-Davian was a patriot to the entire Federated Sons and died at the hands of a madman.
Target acquired.
Charger.
Critical.
There's the AC-20 best fire I could hear. Another one.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Hang in there, Heat.
Armor at critical levels.
Hang in there, Shenzhen.
Lost a component. Geocast was a traitor to your nation who sought to have a throne for himself. He fled to see
Incoming.
his own free will.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
And your 5th Fusiliers to attack your own countrymen in the name of the Confederation.
Ammo depleted. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Okay.
All
Ooh.
targets on our scopes. Looks like they're all down.
Good. Bring the support infantry out and take in as many prisoners as possible. Rip each and every one of them out of their mechs. I want answers, and we aren't going to get any if we don't bring these imposters in alive.
All right, Damu, we'll do as you say. So whoever was talking there knew a lot about things that nobody should really know. Let's see. We didn't get anything worth salvaging. I think I've got multiple assassins by this point. Let's instead focus on these. Okay, there's nothing we need for Cantina missions. An LRM-5. Do I want another Warhammer to cash in? That Warhammer was trashed if the Shadowhawk has as much stuff on it. Two different Shadowhawks here. The H variant, I don't know what's different. Oh, it takes out something. Okay, whatever. Looks like the D has an extra SRM2 and a second medium laser, so much less armor. Look at that, like no armor on this D variant whatsoever. It's a scary thing to be sitting inside. I want the PPC, to be honest, and I want the SRM6. I don't give a toss about that. I can't get it. Okay, we're just going salvage them. And then the rest. Might as well take these. I'm just thinking of Cantina missions there. Okay, quickly, get the cutters. I want every single one of them dragged out of their cockpits and prepped for interrogation. You will never leave Sarna alive. Ominous. Injured Shenzhen, I'm not surprised. We got two. We should have stayed around the edges. Instead, we got kind of dragged into the middle of the chaos. And yeah, suffered because of it. No matter. We have spare pilots. Kill 5 assassins. Hooray. Finally, something new. Ballistic heat transfer. Additional heat conducting materials are integrated into and around weapon barrels, transferring a small amount of excess heat into spent casings just before they are ejected. Oh, what else have we got here? I'm almost certain I don't have those. Let's take this and drop it. Ballistics cell heavy rifles. No. I've only got 2 tier 3s, so that's another one that's going in the bin. We've had bad luck with these Cantina missions. Okay, that'll have to do. Still not getting the ones we want. It's July 27th now. 3029. I guess, yeah. I've talked about it in the past. At this point in time in Comstar, they're not coming after us for what happened out in the periphery, because there's an internal dispute going on, a power struggle between Primus Julian Tiepolo and one of his subordinates, Mindu Wortley of the First Circuit, Precenter Dieron, one of the most powerful positions because of the historical significance of a prior Precenter from that station. Had in the 2900s, early 2900s, avoiding a war with the Draconis Combine. Now, the Comstar War I mentioned took place with the Free Worlds League when their HPG station was destroyed. And the outcome of that was what led to the Comstar War, the first stages of it, was the interdiction against the Free Worlds League. Now, Mindu Waterley, when she saw the attacks launched by the Federated Suns and the Leiden Commonwealth against the Capellan State and Draconis Combine up here, she was crying out for an interdiction against one of them, because maintaining the balance between all the different successor states was part of Comstar's mandate, and the fact that Julian Tiepolo didn't seem too keen on intervening when two of them, one of the Fedcom alliance here, was about to steamroll the others and become close to re-establishing a Star League, something which the Word of Blake says is Comstar's destiny to do after the Great Houses have trashed themselves into oblivion. She was desperate for action to be taken. As a way of placating her, Julian Tiepolo, forgetting his name there, said, well, you know what, fine, if Hansa Davian advances all the way to, I don't know, Sarna, then maybe we'll step in, never in a million years believing that Hansa Davian would actually make it anywhere close to Sarna. Again, nobody understood the scale of the full succession war that the two allies had planned for. It wasn't just going after a few key border worlds like Tikhonov and Tigris. No, they were properly wanting to conquer the entire Confederation. And Steiner was being just as successful, not quite just, but very successful against their historical enemy, the Draconis Combine, up here as well. So yeah, when the Federated Suns reached Sarna, Mindu Waterley did not hang around and started putting her own plans in motion, and we will hear a little bit more about those in the latter half of this DLC. I won't spoil anything more for now, but it doesn't take a genius to tell you that it was not the Federated Suns nor the Capellans who destroyed that HPG station we just saw. I think we are done. Did we repair everything? No, we didn't. And we didn't get any salvage, so what's this? Conclude in 60 days. Oh yes, the catapult. We actually need to look at the specifics of this. I have a spare 65 tonner, so it's not a problem. But it is a problem that I've lost one of my rare LRM-15s. Apparently these were the streams. I prefer them. I'm not giving you the tier 4, so what I'm going to do instead is give you 2 of these. And you can start that work. It's going to take a little bit longer now. Really? Just swapping those out is going to... It's gone up to 92 days from 60 days. Doesn't seem to... Shouldn't have made that much difference, should it? Whatever. Okay. We're only doing one extra thing. Well, 2 extra things, I suppose. No matter, no matter. Actually, you know what? I might just say... This catapult is not going to be in service anymore. Do I even want to keep it around? I may do for the next DLC. Let's relegate it down here. Crusader's coming up in its place. It serves a similar purpose. And I'm just going to repair the ones that matter to us at this stage. I don't think it's worth... it. We've got so much cash. Let's do it. Okay, forget it. Sorry. Sod it. It was only 214,000. It'll be ready or it's not. I know we're paying 3.3 million C-bills, but we are carrying around all these assaults we can't even use currently. But it's no big deal because all these missions are taking place fairly close together. We're not getting that much in the way of payments. Only 1 or 2 over the course of the DLC. Let's go and check our next mission. Mission number 3 for Sarna. Commander, sorry for my emotions getting the best of me out there, but whoever that smug son of a bitch on the comms was, he definitely knew all the right buttons to press to piss me off. My mood's greatly improved after I've been told we were able to pry him out of his mech alive. We got lucky and he fell unconscious during the battle. We weren't so lucky with his co-conspirators though. Many of them killed themselves before they could be taken into custody. We got a handful of them, but not as many as I would have liked to capture. Whoever they are, they definitely have top-grade intelligence training. Could be Maskarovka or Death Commandos. But honestly, there are some huge holes in that theory. They wanted to trap us here and attacked the HPG to frame House Davian in the eyes of Comstar. While the broad strokes make sense, other major details don't. They never once called for Macarons to reinforce them. They have no forms of IDs, they don't act like any Capellan I've ever seen, and most of all, they know things. Things that no Capellan intelligence officer would ever divulge to us. If I'm being honest, the whole lot of them gives me the creeps. We've put all the survivors under enhanced interrogation in air quotations, and came up with zero answers as to who they are or why they destroy the HPG, but plenty of seemingly random bits of information regarding Yorinaga Kurita, a Liao counteroffensive, plans for a raid against the New Avalon NAIS campus, and other things that were clearly way too implausible to be true. So if you remember, Yorinaga Kurita was the person who we had some news reports about the battle on Mallory's World with Morgan Kell, and then was disgraced and exiled. At the start, just prior to the start of the Fourth Succession War, he was recalled and put in command of a new DCMS unit known as the Genyosha. And they are out there fighting, I think, on the Steiner front. Actually, you know what? No, the Genyosha see action on both fronts after the Wolf's Dragoons stopped being the main priority for the DCMS. A Liao counteroffensive, there is something, all these implausible things, by the way, are all things that are actually on the cards. A Liao counteroffensive is coming, I forget exactly where, is it Cathil? I think so. And then a raid on the New Avalon NAIS, that seems the craziest of all. But little does Alana Damu know that there are forces on their way right now from the Death Commandos. Again, Death Commandos in air quotes. Among the random bits of information they did divulge was the location of all Maskarovka facilities on Sarna, that's helpful, and confirmation that they did receive a priority message from Tigris months ago. They claim it's been buried in a sea of thousands of other reports that began flooding into their offices since the fall of Tikhonov. So Sarna, their offices on Sarna, are dealing with not just all the other things in their own commonality, but the former Tikhonov commonality as well. So yeah, it's easy to see how they could have lost track of that report. These must be your lost codebooks, Commander. If it's true, then the Maskarovka do have it, but don't yet know the value of the content they possess. Although we didn't find any additional Fusilier survivors, a deal's a deal, Commander. I'll spare what I can to assist you in a raid against the identified Maskarovka headquarters. It won't be much, but with this new intel, it should hopefully be enough for you to get the job done. Thanks, Damu. You're coming through for us here. It's another megacity battle, this time at night, though. Thanks to our imposter friends, we've tracked down the Maskarovka facilities that administer the entirety of the Sarna commonality and have confirmed that the codebooks were delivered to at least one of the marked facilities. Destroy every target at the marked nav points and get out of there. I'll deploy the commandos to verify that everything at the marked facilities are destroyed. Good. Let's take salvage again and hope for another javelin or fire starter. Odds are low, but we are in a city, so who knows. And we've got 300 tons to play with. Well, the catapult's going. Let's just throw in the Crusader for 1 second, just so I don't have to think about it. We need another 5 tons on top here. So we could go up to... what do I want to go up to? I don't want you to lose your LRM-15s. They're too scarce. So let's put you in the Thunderbolt instead. And I think actually this is an alright loadout for our team. Shenzhen should be able to keep this thing alive. It's got plenty of armor. And... oh wait, no, we're still under ton. So I want an 85 tonner. What do I have that's 85 apart from the Battlemaster? Or a 75 tonner instead of this cataphract. I kind of prefer the idea of this in a city fight, to be honest. I feel like I've got plenty of other 85 tonners, but I'm wrong, aren't I? Okay, we'll take the Battlemaster. This thing that overheats all the time, because I don't think the Zeus is good for a city fight. This thing is, though. And we might get our max of missiles as well. Ah, Shenzheng's injured. I forgot about that. No matter, we've got plenty of replacements now. Goblin can go in. Why not? He's half decent with this. Okay, let's begin. Wait, let's not begin, actually, because there might have been some news. No, that was not. So let's start.
Right, Commander. We were able to learn the location of Sarna's Meskerovka headquarters and support facilities around the capital city of Sarna from our captured imposters. If your stolen codebooks were delivered anywhere, it would have been at any of the marked facilities for decoding. With the HPG system down, it's fairly safe to assume the codebooks would not have been able to make it off-planet, even if they were decoded.
Got it.
So if you can destroy them here, it's unlikely Liao will be able to retrieve them again. We are deep in enemy territory here, so I can only support you with a small team of commandos. They will tail you and verify the destruction of the codebooks once you destroy the marked buildings. This is your mission, and I need to tend to the Fusiliers and plan our next move. So I'll leave the rest of this up to you and Rihanna. Best of luck.
And to you, Captain Damu. I've got nothing to add to that, Commander. So let's get the job done.
Oh, that's not what I thought I was firing there. I thought it was my medium lasers.
Target destroyed.
Okay, well, it worked.
Target acquired.
Another one coming in.
Target destroyed.
Okay. I think it's easier to see without night vision, to be honest.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Took one down.
Target destroyed.
Move over to this side of the map first. Is that a ruined building, or is it some sort of pagoda type structure? I can't tell. Looks like the former. Oh, there's a ruined building. That water cooled me down there. I've never noticed that before. I saw a white pipe in a previous mission and did wonder at the time whether that cooled me down. It might be something that is worth investigating. Oh, come on.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Oh, well, he took care of himself. He got target fixated.
Let's target
Fire starter, and this is a hero mech variant. I think it's called Ember.
Target acquired.
There it is. Take his legs off if we can. I did lag that other fire starter, but it did not appear in the spawn. I think you get a 50% chance if you take his legs off.
Target acquired.
You guys get that? I'm on this guy.
Target destroyed.
Took a nasty hit there.
Target acquired.
Engaging shared target ID.
I'm in pursuit of this hero. That's one down. Where is he gonna land?
Add one to my score.
There he goes.
Destroyed.
Right, hopefully we will capture ourselves another hero mech there. Let's move on. Interesting that both hero fire starters spawn in these city maps. Do you know what's frustrating about that? It's the fire starter that I can't cash in for the Cantina mission. We're gonna have 2 fire starters we need, neither of which we want to give up.
Target acquired.
There's our first target. Let's be quick about this, Commander.
Oh, it's this building here.
Federate raiders just took out one of our facilities. Contact Colonel McCarran. We need assistance immediately. We cannot afford to lose our regional intelligence operation.
Target destroyed.
Looks like we've got their attention, Commander. Just keep at it.
Enemy destroyed.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
We're doing okay for time. I only noticed it about a minute ago that we actually had a timer, but
Target acquired. New target.
there's something.
Grasshopper.
Spider on the left. Is he slightly out of range there? Frustrating. It's not overheat. That was not my AC, I don't think. No, maybe it was.
New target.
Copy. We're on it, sir.
Critical. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Those that kill together, stay together.
There's the second blackjack on the left.
New target
Mech destroyed.
destroyed.
In their team. Oh, there's a lot.
Focusing the shared target.
Awesome's got a big chest. Just fire through that. We're gonna end up with another headshot here. Awesome.
Offline.
Just kill him. Don't care that I shot myself down there.
We're on it, boss.
Clear the glowing mech hull.
Acquired. Target destroyed.
Shadowhawk over there. Oh no, it was a spider. 3 minutes left. We're fine.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Spiders somewhere in our midst.
Target, now!
Fire at him. Come on, guys.
Target destroyed.
Okay. All's good. Look at this gas station here. Why is the ceiling so high? It's like 5 stories up.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
That's the last facility. The
Oh, we're going to
infantry
that
will
corner.
take it from here. We need to evacuate now before McCarran's armored cavalry shows up in force.
Okay.
Make your way to the marked exfil
We're on our way, Deanna.
All personnel, I'm initiating protocol Fensho Kenku. Evacuate all facilities. Destroy and burn
Target
all
acquired.
operational routers and data caches before you evacuate.
Fantastic.
Leave nothing but ashes for these deviant dogs.
Maskarovka had no idea what they had in their possession. Thought we were going after their own intelligence. Little did they know that they just did us a favor. And there we go. The crisis has been resolved, and now we are left dealing with the more immediate problem, or dealing with the other problem of being stranded on Sarna. That's all marked targets destroyed. Commandos are still sweeping each site. Come back to base and we'll wait on their return. Contact McCarran. Inform him that we've been attacked. I want those fed rats hunted down. We didn't get our hero Ember. Too bad. Oh, we didn't get a grasshopper either. I didn't even think about trying to salvage it. Well, we just get a bunch of junk instead. Well, that's no good. There's like nothing. Yeah, this is true junk tier salvage. Whatever. Damage wasn't too bad, so we should have a net positive. There we go. Yeah, 155,000 is nothing. Level up. We are now Reduces the chance of overheating. We have the best cooling we possibly could have. Our damage has been reduced to the max as well. Evasion is as high as it could be. Now we just need a little bit more damage for missiles and ballistics. We are very close to leveling up ballistics as well. Okay, pretty good. And you're about a quarter of the way to being maxed, Fenstrom. Good work, team. Cantina mission time. Collect 2 cicadas. Do I actually have those? I couldn't tell you. We didn't kill any harassers or missile carriers. I'm going to drop the Jav one. Guarantee you I'm about to see a load of javelins in the next mission. I actually need those collection missions, but they're just taking too long. We can get this one because we're not going to be going there. Do I have those cicadas? I think I've got one, don't I? Oh, it's the bloody hero mech, isn't... These cantina missions, honestly, so frustrating. Damn, now this is a thing that I might actually get. I think Liao's got a lot of cicadas, don't they? What was the other cantina mission? Kill 30 warriors. Yeah, we are actually going to get those. Right, let's drop the harassers. Just the worst luck with our cantina missions. Even though we're like clearing them out every time to try and get a new draw, it's always just things that are going to have low odds of doing. We need to do out of pairs actually, don't we? Okay, simple enough. Straight into the next mission then. Congratulations, completing your mission, Commander. My commandos reported that the second the Maskarovka saw infantry investigating their destroyed sites, they initiated protocols to destroy everything, rather than see Confederation secrets fall into our hands. We were able to capture a handful of random data drives for good measure, but I doubt there's anything of immediate value on them for us. Although your mission for Marshal Davian is now complete, I'm afraid that you're still trapped on Sarna like the rest of us. Liao forces still maintain air superiority and will destroy your dropship if you attempt to leave the system, just as they destroyed all of ours. But not all hope is lost. We just captured a scouting patrol from the local militia and were able to tap into McAdam's comm systems. While we know they will change the transmission codes the second they realize one of their patrols are missing, we've learned that McAdam is squarely focused on destroying the remnants of the Crater Cobras and Screaming Eagles, the Certis Fusiliers mercenary support battalions for the Sarna campaign, regiments. They're still alive and have been causing the Big Mac nothing but problems for months now. We've used your Leopard sensors to pinpoint their position through their assigned transponder codes, and we verified that they are still alive and moving. Although they are too far for us to make radio contact through all of this electromagnetic jamming. So our old friends, the Crater Cobras, are here on world, which we knew already, as well as the Screaming Eagles, and former, in fact I think they're both former Star League units, although centuries have passed since then, so I can't tell you exactly what percentage of their families are descendant from them or just randoms by this point. This is the best news we've received since you all arrived to help us, Commander. Arrived to help us. Commander, we'll need you to make initial contact with them. At the moment, their reported location is too far away for any of our Fusiliers to make without abandoning our wounded and prisoners. I'll prep everyone for transports and begin to slowly migrate our surviving personnel in their general direction. Your forces can fly ahead in your dropship and make initial contact with their forces and plan a rendezvous point for us. The mercenaries have been moving their forces repeatedly, trying to stay one step ahead of McAdam's armoured cavalry. Judging by their movements, it appears that they are migrating towards the ruins of a derelict warship located deep in northern Jakarlos. This will be the most ideal spot for you to make contact with them. This might be the last time we see each other, Commander, so before you go, I just want to say thanks for everything. You've given all the remaining Fusiliers hope that we'll make it out of all of this, one way or another. So we have finished up Alana Damu's phase of the Sarna campaign, and we're now going to reunite with the guy whose name is escaping me, but the leader of the Crater Cobras. The Screaming Eagles are a bit of an interesting story of the Fourth Succession War because they were reasonably well regarded. Once upon a time, they were 5 whole regiments, condensed down to 2 over the course of the Succession Wars, but still regarded as a fairly strong mercenary unit. And then they suffered a string of minor defeats, nothing too dangerous, and then all ideas of the Ares conventions went out the window. I can't even remember exactly what their transgressions were, but there were at least 2 instances of them committing some massacre or something within Capellan territory during the Fourth Succession War. I may be totally misrepresenting what happened, but I'm pretty sure like they were derided by House Davian afterwards and released from their contract in disgrace because of the way they had acted over the course of the war. And I can't remember whether it was just sheer bloodlust on their part or whether they'd found themselves in really tricky situations, kind of like this here where we are on Sarna right now, and I think they were maybe starving or something, so they attacked some civilian settlements to try and get food for themselves. It could be a case like that where they were just between a rock and a hard place. Commander, the Crater Cobras and Screaming Eagles are taking shelter in a derelict warship from the early Succession Wars. Make contact with them to then alert us to a proposed rendezvous location. We stand a much better chance of surviving Sarna if we work together rather than going it alone. It's salvage time again. Look at our cash going up 75 million. We've not had that amount since we finished the Alliance Games part of this DLC. And yeah, then we lost it all upgrading our mechs. 310 tons. We've gone up another 10 now. I will take that. And we will skip forwards 44 days. And we will see. There is no news. So it looks like there's never going to be any news during these missions. What you start each one with is what you get. I guess that wasn't exactly true because there was one that popped up or should have popped up after the first mission, but because we were late getting to Tikhonov, it didn't work out that way. Okay, right, 10 tons more. I'm not a big fan of this Battlemaster, to be honest. It's kind of a nothing. It doesn't really have, I don't know, it feels a little devoid of character, which is a strange thing to say about a hero mech. And I also hate the way these SRM2s look in its shoulder. So let's swap that for maybe a Highlander? This is the one we've not used, our Comstar one. But we can give it a nice Crucis paint scheme. And then an 85, and then a 75-tonner Marauder, maybe? In place of you? Where is that Marauder? It's somewhere. Oh wait, I do have a 95-tonner. Let's take our Night Star. We've only used it once. Oh, you know what? No, we won't. We'll save it for our upcoming mission. Where was my Marauder? Marauder shields, where are you? There we go. Oh yeah, but you don't match anymore. Maybe I stick you back in the Crusader and I go for this. You not matching isn't the end of the world. Right, let's check out this one. Rhonda's one is probably better in every way, but since I haven't used it at all, I'll give this one an outing. Where is Rhonda's? Oh, they're together. Fractionally more armor. Slightly less firepower. Yeah, Rhonda's is better in every way. It makes no sense to use this thing. Let's use Rhonda's. If I can find it. Whatever. This and this. There, done. Too much pissing around there. Let's get the Night Star painted. I realized I didn't do exactly what I said I was going to do just then, but whatever. Okay, I like having all the guys looking in the Crucis camo, to be honest. I didn't like that Battlemaster sticking out in the previous mission. These guys are good. You're a proper missile pilot, as proper as 8 out of 8 can be anyway. And again, Stabjorn is good in this mech, which we still haven't given anything better, and we had plenty of time to swap components on it repeatedly between missions and haven't done so. You're good in this, you'll get that. I'll get some ballistic skills with this guy. Mason's nearly maxed out. Let's begin this mission.
warship are straight ahead, Commander. The Crater Cobras and the Screaming Eagles have taken refuge in its interior.
Let's get to them
If we
then.
want to have any chance of getting out of this mess alive, we're going to need their help. Let's hope they aren't in as dire straits as we are.
They've got a king crab over there. I wonder if that's what Colonel Westrick is in. I was going to say yes, but then, you know what? In that first mission, where we were fighting alongside them for as part of the Alliance games, there was a Thunderbolt there then too, and he was present for that mission. So I wonder if that's his. Check it out. Look at this. The ruins of an ancient warship. Destroyed during the early succession wars, I think the briefing said.
Amazing. I never thought I would ever see one of the ancient warships. These things used to be at the top of the food chain when it came to the supreme military power of the Star League. Massive spacecraft that acted as jump ships, armed to the teeth with naval weapons and assault dropships.
Not much left of it now.
They were often used to rain death across entire systems with nuclear fire and chemical strikes. Untold billions died at the hands of these monsters. It's not surprising that they were the first things to be targeted and destroyed in the early succession wars.
Imagine something this size, the weapons that it would have, bombarding you from space. I saw a comment from, I think it was PGI Chris on the, as in Chris from PGI Studios, that it was based on a monsoon warship, this thing, which is a design from the early Terran hegemony history, the 2300s, so pre-Age of War, let alone pre-Star League. This is an ancient vessel produced, 700 odd years ago, almost. And at the time it was made, it was the largest, heaviest vessel in service, 1.3 million tons. And it was the most powerful weapon in that arsenal.
Those mechs, they're broadcasting Federated Suns IFF. You out there, identify yourselves.
It's not Nyx Cavaliers.
We are an independent detachment of the 2nd Crucis Lancers on special assignment. We're here to help.
Why have you got Steiner paint scheme?
Brianna Campbell? Is that you? I thought you were with that Merc outfit from the Galahad War Games.
We are
What are you
indeed.
doing broadcasting Davian military IFFs.
Yeah, we're Crucis Lancers now, aren't we?
Story for another time. For now, we're hoping to help each other out of this mess.
That's highly optimistic of you. We dug into this position to defend ourselves from an incoming advance from the 3rd McCarran's Armored Cavalry. They've been probing our defenses for the past week after we repelled an all-out assault from them at Graves Hallow. If you want to help, join us, and let's push these bastards back.
MechWarrior just
Keep us in good enough
crashed.
shape, and we might just live to see tomorrow. Colonel Westrick, enemy scouts just crossed the outer perimeter. They're here.
Who's voicing that guy?
Okay then, let's get to work.
Let's let them come to us, actually.
We'll appreciate the assist here. Keep our mercs in fighting shape. We won't be any good to you dead.
Here they come. What do we got? A Raven and a Locust?
VTOL on approach.
Let's blast them.
Wow, you're crazier than me, Commander.
Yeah, sorry about that. I misjudged the width of this of the Night Star Gauss rifle to the back of that Crusader.
Reserve forces from McCarran's appear to be crossing the perimeter.
Wait, I need one of you. Let's take his legs off. Nice one, King Crab.
Understood. We should be able to pull through if we can keep our forces in the fight.
We'll do our best, Colonel.
There we go.
Target destroyed.
Legs, all of them. I see the Night Star's taking a lot of cockpit damage again. Somebody left me a comment saying that it's extremely common in the Night Star for it to be cockpitted because of the location of the cockpit right at the front of the center and center of the center torso. It's a quite a liability. Oh no, I've got to get up there. My team. We have an optional objective: ensure Westrick's company don't lose a single mech. And at the moment, that is not going to happen.
We're coming to you, Commander.
I didn't realize they were stuck back there with a King Crab. Hold on, Shadowhawk. We're on our way. Who the hell is this?
Fighter.
Core base. Visual confirmation of hostile forces.
He just slid off the edge.
Systems down.
My team can kill him.
On your target, Commander.
I'm going to assist the Shadowhawk up here.
That VTOL is on our list of
Oh my god. Where did you go to, Shadowhawk?
Acquired.
Miss. I need to take his legs off. I need to salvage this bloody idiot. One leg down. There we go, second leg. And they've just come from... Oh my goodness. I'm quite exposed up here. Let's let my team regroup a bit. Charger is stuck in a wall over there. Good.
Target acquired.
Missed. Javelin, I've just dropped a Cantina mission to kill you. Thank you for wasting my time there with that.
Target acquired.
He's close to death. There he goes.
Target destroyed.
I don't know why I've suddenly taken such a liking to taking their legs off.
Our assigned target is flying in.
Fine, I'll kill you like that.
Destroyed.
There's somebody else up here. Oh, never mind that. There's somebody landing just here.
Target acquired.
Who's this idiot? Oh my god.
Engaging
There's an Orion up there. Gonna take his shoulder off with the LRMs.
Orion.
Bollocks to that, we'll just fire through his chest. It's a nice big target. So am I, though. Come on, finish him.
Good kill, Commander. Critical explosion imminent.
Quickjaw's almost dead.
Griffin.
Let's kill this guy. He's the biggest threat. Come on, how are you alive? There we go.
Target acquired.
Gonna switch target to this Griffin now, because he still has his firepower.
New target. Jenner. System offline.
Damn it, wasn't paying attention to my heat.
Gold base. Dynasty unit has gone critical. Repeat, critical.
Heat
Are
critical.
you alive in there? No. Okay, 2 Lancers left. That was fraught. But crucially, everyone's still alive, I believe.
That matches the class of beetle we're after. Take it out.
Time for work. Enemy spotted. Lead the way.
Everyone over here.
New target.
Oh my goodness. We've got a heavy Centurion,
Target
quick draw,
acquired.
Battle Master, and something else. Short range mechs all. Let's redeploy over here to fast team.
We're moving into position.
Guys at the back are killing warriors. Oh, this is too risky now.
Moving in file.
What are we dealing with? A Battle Master, an Archer,
Archer.
quick draw, and not Annihilator, thank God. AH Centurion. Come on, team, come on.
Yep, Commander. On your 6.
I want this nice
Looking
start up
fine,
here.
too, don't mind me saying.
So at times like these, I wish I had upgraded the Charger.
New target. Centurion.
Where's this? Right, okay, it's here. There's the Centurion. Oh, hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Target acquired.
Get that head. Come on. Nice.
Excellent
Nice.
shot.
It was a lucky shot.
Archer.
Cockpit's exposed. Oh, okay, okay. Suddenly,
Bastards just don't give up.
headshots become viable.
Cobras, stay strong. We've almost
Forget
got
it.
them.
Chest is open.
Explosive.
Oh, I got small laser as well. I forget.
Acquired.
How could I forget the small laser? Take that arm off, guys. Oh, bad aim. Get him, Shadowhawk. Thank you, Charger, for blocking my shots.
Target acquired.
His arm's off. Wow, okay, forget that.
Following your footsteps, Commander.
Oh god, once again we've got to go out there for the bloody Shadowhawk.
Target Shadowhawk.
What? It's Shadowhawk on Shadowhawk battle, and ours is in much... Oh my goodness, that was a PPCX firing.
Scrap that one. We got you, boss.
I'm going to ignore him and get the aggro from this Marauder with the PPCXs, because otherwise I'm going to ignore him as well. I'll just take the hits. I need to get some aggro if I want to get this optional objective to keep everyone alive, which I really do. I shouldn't be approaching if he's got the PPCXs. It's our first sighting of one of these. Bad aim. My team... Oh, there's too many... Hang on. Was that ours? No. There you go. We can both punch. Damn it. Two Vindicators here. You're still alive, just. Where's he? Okay. Jesus, I should not be this close to a PPCX. Side torso's open. Take an arm off him. Jesus. Please get rid of that idiot. Everyone's still alive. I see a lot of... Oh, it's machine gun fire from the Crusader. Oh, there it goes. You're alive. You're good.
You have our thanks,
Charge is
Commander,
good.
but without us being able to transmit off system, I'm very skeptical about our overall chances at survival. A very
We all
strong
made it.
ECM field is preventing us from contacting anyone at the system's jump point. We have a long shot plan to try to get a message off world. With your help, we might just be able to do it. Come by our command center and I'll share the details with you.
Side torso was open. Almost lost my ERPPC there. I got a little bit flustered at the end, just trying to keep that stupid Shadow Hawk alive. If I had just written it off and not gone for that optional objective, I could have got through there with a lot less damage. But I just kind of charged in with a Nighthawk, with a Night Star that was already not in the best of condition. It's alright though, we survived. Well done, team. Lots of headshots there. Ah, so frustrating. I want that archer. I could get another one of these with the PPCXs as well. Yeah, so this was a weapon. I've got mixed feelings about it, to be honest. The fact that it doesn't exist in canon doesn't bother me at all. I actually really like it conceptually as an arena-tuned PPC, something that's short range. You probably noticed it was firing kind of like purple bursts, almost like a shotgun. It is the LB-10X equivalent for the PPC. But my first exposure to it was not a positive one. I remember the first time I played this game. We finished the tutorial. We went into our first mission in the Inner Sphere, loaded it up against two enemies, a Panther and a Jenna. The Jenna came at us at like 160 kilometers an hour because it had an arena supercharger on board. And the Panther was firing some purple goo at me with its PPCX. And I thought to myself, what the hell is MechWarrior 5? Because it's not the Battletech universe that I was familiar with. I've mellowed out a little bit since then, but like instantly got my hackles up. I was like, this is crazy. All sorts of funky technology going around. People sprinting at me like 160 kilometers an hour. It was madness. But yeah, like I said, I do like it conceptually. And now that they've changed it so it doesn't appear until later in the setting, I guess 3029 is its first introduction. Could have been around sooner, but we've not seen it before now at the very least. But yeah, it makes more sense now as something that emerges after the Helm memory core, and indeed our own memory core, has come onto the scene. Because in the 3030s, we'll see a lot more pieces of technology put back into production that were last seen in the Starleague era. Lost Tech is no longer Lost Tech. I'm gutted I missed the Archer. I would have liked to have had one of those. 70-ton is not that great, but the fact that we haven't had one at all so far, and we don't have anything that fires LLM. Oh, no, that's a lie. Our Highlanders have the LLM-20s, and in fact, I think the King Crab does too. We have a Cicada, so we're one step towards getting a Cantina mission accomplished there. Do I want to take a Centurion to cash it in? I think I've got loads already, to be honest. I'm just taking things that we might have to do for cantinas instead. None of this is stuff I want. Right, let's take that Centurion. Why the hell not? Why are these... Why is the Locust below Spider? Because they're not in weight order either. Because the Cicada is above Centurion. Doesn't make any sense. And this is a weird way around too. Oh, I see. They're sorted by value. Okay. There's nothing... Have we even got a Griffin? No. Do I want a Griffin? Also no. But we will take it all the same because we've not used it once. I would have liked a Raven as well. I took so many legs off, but not of the things I... Yeah, that's the problem with headshotting mechs. Look at this condition of this. It was almost perfect. And of course the problem is now I can't salvage it because I don't have enough shares. Whatever. I'll take you. SRM6s are actually kind of rare. Thanks for the help, Commander. I may have a use for you that can help us get a message off-world. Come by my tent once you've settled in. Cavaliers, pull back. That should be... Oh no, the armored cavalry. Yeah, that's right. The mercenaries' position is too strong. We'll need to wait them out. Their supplies must be running thin by now. That's McCadden's armored cavalry talking here. We didn't see the Screaming Eagles there. Supposedly they were in there. Maybe it was 2 mechs of each. Who can say? Yeah, good job, team. The Night Star, once again, proving itself a good mech, but also proving itself a little bit of a risk for headshots. Ooh, and we have another pilot, our 6th pilot, 7th if we include Mason. We're finally, and look at her skills here. 10 out of 10, or can get up to 10 with energy weapons. So, like Stabiorn, she's more of a specialist, but that's good because we have plenty of mechs with energy weapons that we can get her to max skilled. She doesn't require anything with the ballistics and missiles, so she's pretty much open to using anything in our arsenal. Commander, it's great to see you again. I only wish we were meeting under better circumstances. You have my thanks for keeping us in good shape, good enough shape to see tomorrow. While I can't spare too much equipment, I do have a MechWarrior that's been disposed of their mech in the recent fighting. Dispossessed, I think that should mean. If you have a mech for them, they'll serve you well. I'll send them over to your dropship. Let's catch up over a drink in my tent. I'm curious to know why the hell you're even on this rock in the first place. Well, it's a long story, but we'll fill you in. We do have this, but we can't do it yet because it requires our hero Cicada, which I don't want to give up. So we will look at these. 2 Wolverines. I think we have 2 Wolverines, you know. We've actually got 4. Yes, we do. Excellent. Finally, I can do one of these. Kill 3 Victors is low on the list, but Manticores, to be honest, is even lower. But we need to drop something in order to get it. The missile carriers, we haven't seen one of them. We could get a mission where we suddenly get all 16 at once, but we're already at level 7 on that. That's lower priority. Let's get the Wolverines. Job rewards. Get those Wolverines. Cash in the right ones. Those 2. Because that's our Hellraiser and this is our Hero Mech. Missile exhaust venting. We're up to level 6 on Mech Collector now. Fast missile exhaust venting reduces heat buildup within the mech when firing missiles. Having a Cantina mission like that, we went up 2 levels. I was just about to say that gave us a ton of XP for 2 medium mechs at once. Adjusting the fusion reactor to allow for higher electrical output and swapping some minor components to use the extra load increases the damage potential of energy weapon systems. Great. Look at this. Everything... Oh, Treasure Hunter is that really awkward one. We had such bad luck with it early on. And now we're stuck in DLCs where we can't pick where we're going. Never mind, at least we're finally getting use out of our ridiculous number of mechs in cold storage. So the other one, I'm going to kill the Victors and then... Oh no, you know what? I'm going to take this one and then drop it immediately. Who knows? We have seen 1 Victor at the start of the Sarna campaign. We might get more, but I doubt it. That's probably get dropped for the next load of Cantina missions. We got some salvage, including this Griffin. Including this Cicada, which we need another one of. I'm going to take a picture of this, and then we will put a Griffin into use. This is the standard Griffin, the iconic one, if you will. And if memory serves, it's a little bit underwhelming in the MechWarrior games. So let's just quickly take a pic. Just so when it comes time to rebuild it, I can put everything back where it belongs. Because for now, I'm not ready for you. Yeah, we need to reduce that. So that's gone 250,000 less just by getting rid of that thing. Everything should be an easy repair, I think. We took some damage to our ERPPC, crucially did not lose it though. Night Star's out of it for the next mission. Well, it maybe isn't actually, depends how far away it is. Let's find out. Well, first we want to check if we got news, which we did not. And also, I want to check out our new pilot here. Mila Serena. Mila, I want to say Serena. The impulsive child of a middling free world's house, Mila spent time as an idealistic crusader on in the periphery, okay, before becoming a mercenary. She now answers to C-bills, and nothing but C-bills. Very good. She's got some skills as well. Firebug and Firestarter Mech Affinity. Are those random? Or are those her preferred stats? So some people just want to watch the world burn. Additional heat damage with Flamers and Inferno SRMs. And our Firestarter here. So we can try and put her in a Firestarter at some point. You know what would have been great if we'd salvaged either of the two hero Firestarters we've come across in this campaign. Unfortunately, luck went against us, but that's life. We do have one Firestarter, but it's a little bit undertonned for the stage we have reached. I will try to remember to put her in a Firestarter at some point. I know she's a fan favorite because she's absolutely psychotic, as you will soon see. But she can come along with Miastro and Fenstrom, at least until she gets maxed up. Also, she's a Free Worlds League Origin pilot. So that pairs with Shenzheng being in the Capellan Confederation and Fenstrom being from the Leiden Commonwealth. These two as MechWarriors, I don't know. I mean, you could maybe draw a conclusion from that name there. But I don't think... Yeah, you can't really say an origin too precisely, and Stabjorn could be from anywhere. He has a Stabjorn very definitely sounds like a Scandinavian name, Swedish maybe. So potentially he's from the Razelhague district. In fact, have we even heard him say one line of dialogue in this so far? I don't think we have. He's been utterly silent. But he could end up in a Razelhague military academy potentially if we want to read into his name that much. I do like the idea of sending them to distinct places so we get a variety of different traits. I know there are some academies better than others. Also, being in that Gauss Rifle got us up to 9 out of 10. Mason is almost max rank. Okay, it's time for the mission. Colonel Richard Westrick. That sure is some story you've got there, Commander. I guess we just filled them in. While I am glad to hear that Captain Damu was able to rally a number of survivors from the Fusiliers' ranks, you won't find much sympathy for their plight among my men after what Hearthstone pulled. You see, things went sideways for us the second we arrived in system. After they heard Maximilian Liao killed their beloved Duke, General Hearthstone ordered the 5th Certis Fusiliers to charge ahead of our invasion flotilla on a high G burn that jumped the gun on the agreed upon invasion schedule. They beat us to the planet's surface by 2 days, hoping to satisfy their lust for revenge. All they did was walk face first into a trap that doomed them all. I can still hear the screams they broadcast to us in vain hope that we could save them, while we were still over a day away from reaching the planet. The Screaming Eagles and I decided that, despite the incompetence of Hearthstone and the Fusiliers, we could not deviate from our contracted invasion plan. If we packed it up and left for home, we might have lived, but we would never be able to find MRB back to work again. We came to the joint decision that we would drop in system and fight out McCadden's armoured cavalry in a protracted guerrilla war and attempt to get a message off system requesting reinforcements from the armed forces of the Federated Suns. Little did we know that the Capellans had some kind of jamming field that disrupts long-range communications planet-wide. Those bastards kept their jammers off so we could listen to the Fusiliers plead for their lives on our approach in, only to flip the switch and jam our comms the second we hit atmosphere. We've been trying to figure out a way to get a message to the jump point ever since. Commander, we've spent months scouting out the facilities that the Capellans use to disrupt long-range communications on planet. But with our numbers, we've always determined that assaulting one was too high risk. With you here, we might just be able to pull it off. We know the Capellans are gunning for us, so if we pull the Big Mac's attention away from a number of their regional jamming arrays, we should be able to thin their defenses enough to where you can perform a targeted strike and bring those jammers down. This sounds very familiar. It'll be just like Galahad. We'll draw them away, and you see that the mission gets done. I'll be straight with you, Commander. This mission is critical to us being able to get a message out of the system. I don't know how much longer any of us can last down here, but if you give us a month or so, we can plan for an assault on these jamming facilities. So we've got some time to do repairs. So take your time to prepare your forces and be ready for anything. We may have a need to deploy in consecutive missions depending on how McAdams reacts to their jammers being destroyed. So make sure you complete as many repairs and refits as possible before we execute this mission. Godspeed, my friend. We'll see you on the other side. Okay, Westrick, we can do this. You just need to keep them occupied and we will hit the jammers. The only way we'll be able to get a message off to the jump point is if we can take down the ECM jamming network blocking long-range communications. Destroy the jamming arrays at the marked nav points, then move to regroup on our position. We don't know how the Confederation will react to our attacks, so prepare yourself for the possibility of consecutive deployments. And he's exactly right. We don't have any time between the next two missions, the final two missions of Operation Rat here on Sarna. Let's go salvage and share Seabells again. Abort campaign. What happens then? Do we just give up 50 days? Okay. Let's skip forwards. And we'll check and see if there was news. There was no news. We should not be surprised by that. And we've got 10 tons to spare, but we also need to think about the next mission as well. But you know what? We've got so many assault mechs. The next mission's not going to be a problem. I want to put you up to... Something goes up 10 tons. Another 80 tonner here, the Victor. Oh yeah, he's got that special paint scheme. And if I drop... You know what? We've not used the Cyclops yet. Let's use the Cyclops ourselves. And we're going to drop you down to something like an awesome. And we want you there. You're going to take Gandalf because it's what you're going to be good at. We want you to get XP with. I'm going to swap you to the Cataphract, and that gives us 320 tons. And now I just need to paint some mechs. Where's Gandalf? Here he is. That's upgrades. And the Cyclops was the other one. The only time we used the Cyclops was in that ridiculous mission when we got overrun by aircraft. I just read a comment that said they always spawn if you go west at the start of that mission. So what the hell is that about? I'm glad that I didn't try to persist with that and ran north the second time. Otherwise, that would have just been nightmarish. I would have thought the mission impossible. And yeah, the only time we used it was basically running in and crushing the base without actually doing any fighting. So I think we're ready now. I'm going to just remind myself... Oh, hang on. We need you to get ballistics. We need both of you to get ballistics, and that's the right mech for all three of you, I think. Let's just quickly refresh our memory on what the Cyclops is loaded with. Those are chainfire. Those are that. And there we go. I don't think Serena has any Inferno missiles, but we're fine. In a sense, this is just a big fire starter. That's how we view it. Let's start.
The Crater Cobras have provided us with the location of a series of powerful ECM arrays that have been disrupting long-range comms across the entire Sarna system. If we destroy enough arrays within the region, we should be able to pierce the localized disruption field and get a message out to the system's jump point. We need to destroy these ECM arrays in order to have any hope of getting a message off-world. If we don't succeed, well, we'll all most likely die here, Commander.
Okay.
Oh, lovely. No pressure at all for the
Yeah,
likes of us,
let's try and stay optimistic, Rihanna.
I know it's hard to hear, but it's the simple truth. While we've had our successes, McCarran's armored cavalry still has 4 full regiments of troops on Sarna. It's a simple numbers game. The reality is, we don't have enough forces to come out ahead. Even with the Crater Cobras and Screaming Eagles, we need reinforcements. And with the system's HPG down, the only way that we can ever hope of getting them is if we get a message back to Davion Command through a ferried message by jump ship.
Okay.
Bringing down these ECM arrays is our only chance at doing that.
Don't fear.
I'm not exaggerating when I say that this time, all our lives are depending on this. So good luck, Commander.
So the Cyclops doesn't have much by the way of weapons, but it has a lot of armor, so I want to make sure I'm at the front, which is a bit awkward when you're in the LRM mech, but we'll probably steal aggro anyway. We're within 800. Whoever's here defending this first target should have spawned. I'm going to try and stay up here on the ledge to give me a line of sight. Squeeze around up on here. My HUD is flickering a bit from the jamming, but I don't see the target. Is that it there?
Target sent to hell.
You start to hear Serena's trademark insanity.
Copy. We're on it, sir.
Orion over there. Let's get him coming this way. There's a medium on the right. Blackjack.
The shared target.
I'm gonna get the Orion.
Incoming missile.
I can win this fight.
Incoming missile.
There we go.
Destroy. Target acquired.
Let's assist our team here.
Critical.
Take off his other side and he's gone. There we go. You got nothing. Where's the objective here?
Target destroyed.
There.
Target acquired.
How much health has this thing got? Well, that's something.
That was a transmission on the AFFC's command line. The
AFFC?
first report since we've arrived at Sarna. I can't make out anything in it, but destroying the other ECM towers might allow us to hear the broadcast. Keep it up, Commander.
Okay, we're on it. The AFFC have time traveled and come back from the future to assist us here on Sarna.
Get down.
Destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
I see a lot of satellite dishes, but not the jammer. Let's carefully venture in. This mech is not going to be great at close quarters, because my LRMs won't be able to come into play. There, yeah, it's just about to... Oh, it's the 0X with the jamming. And another blackjack. His torso's open. He's too hot to fire, thank God, because I was just standing there like a lemon in front of him. Oh, I'm about to overheat. Oh, and I did overheat myself. Even though I was looking right at my heat meter, I still decided to fire those LLMs twice. Let's put the heat on him now.
Hostile mech down.
Right, let's get this jammer and then sweep around elsewhere. There it is. Oh, we'll crush him with our fists. Or our boots.
Target destroyed.
We'll be in position to encircle them in a matter of hours.
Matter of hours.
Damn it. Commander, the ECM disruption is weakening, but McCarran is encircling our forces while you're attacking the ECM installation.
Okay.
We don't have the numbers to fight through them. We need those towers destroyed so we can find a gap in their lines. We fought too long and too hard for this to be our end.
Just stay calm.
Target destroyed.
I want to get out of the city.
Tango down!
There may be mechs coming from that direction. I was a bit too close to that
Target
other one.
destroyed.
Positioning on you, Commander. Threat eliminated.
This looks very... There we go.
Acquired.
Wow, okay. Hello.
Get and pop that blood bag inside
Well,
it.
get on with it then, Selena, because holy hell, we need you. Let's make him too hot to fire those PPCs. He's burning. Those machine guns are gonna get him.
Target destroyed.
Gotcha. Let's do this.
The Janner, look at him backing up. Got his attention, sir. And now he's shut down. Oh dear. What a sad fate for you.
Target acquired.
Someone's in my rear.
Confirmed, Commander. Moving on target.
That was almost
One down.
something to worry about. Hang on, we got another Igor coming in.
Acquired.
Not anymore, we don't.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Engaging shared target ID. Add one more to my kill count.
Target
Beyond the Federated Sons. We've reached Sarna's outcome.
What was that laser?
The message is getting clearer, but we still can't make out any discernible information. We need to destroy those remaining ECM towers.
Working on it.
Commander, our tactical projections are not good. The only way we can break through McCarran's forces is if we abandon our wounded.
Whose
That is
lasers are
not
those?
something I'm willing to do. We're preparing to make our last stand. Finish the mission, Commander. Then get as far away from us as possible.
Oh god, it's all going
Regroup
wrong.
with Captain Damu. Get a message back to Davy in command. Survive.
Colonel Westdrake, I'm sorry we couldn't do more.
Grand Dragon.
It's okay. It's the part of the job that all of us mercenaries must accept at some point. Today, it's just my time.
He's got melee, so let's not go too close. If he's this hot, he can't fire anything at me.
Explosive kill, Commander.
acquired.
Lance target confirmed. Firing.
Missiles off. Does Stabion just not have a voice?
Target mech down.
Is that it there? I just saw it spawn.
Target acquired.
Yeah.
Target destroyed.
Cleared?
Target destroyed. New target.
Rifleman
confirmed.
3C. This is the AC variant that's supposed to be exclusive to House Davian, but I guess they salvaged one.
Acquired.
Requested target ID received. Engaging.
I tell you, this SRM4 Inferno is doing amazing work for me this level. He's on fire. He must be burning up. But he's still firing. ACs don't generate. Oh, okay, hang on. This is actually a problem I gotta deal with. Turning my back on those two AC2s, or AC10s, is not a good idea, but hopefully his aim misses while I deal with this brawler. There he goes.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Okay. The free worlds? Who was that? Maddox sending supporters there, part of the Concorder Captain, apparently. Famously, there's like a document in one of the source books that lists everything that House Maddox sent Maximilian Liao, and it includes 21,000 tons of toilet paper. Right, one left. Potentially just 2 mechs left, because it seems to have been 2 per base so far. Cyclops is holding up well. I'm inside their spawn range. Let's go onto the flat terrain here of the field. Try not to crush that combine harvester. Look how small this giant vehicle would be next to the battle mech. It's a 101 assassin. Is that the newish one? I think it might be. Just gonna quickly eliminate these. Shows what contempt I have for the assassin, that those 2 scorpions are more of a threat. Take off his legs if I can. Spider in the distance there, I can make him out. Fell off something. My team can finish him. I'm on the spider. There's my target as well. I'm going to try and combine both here.
This is Arden Sortek of the
Sortek, you're here.
calling all surviving forces of the Federated Suns. We have reached Sarna's atmosphere and are available to reinforce on your position.
Fantastic.
Is anyone out there, please respond. Again, this is Arden Sortek.
Help has come sooner than we could have hoped.
Colonel Sortek, this is Colonel Richard Westrick with the Crater Cobras. My God, is it good to hear your voice. The Crater Cobras and the Screaming Eagles are pinned down 50 clicks east of the city of Catatonia along the coast. We estimate that the Big Mac will have us completely surrounded in 3 hours. Transmitting exact coordinates now. Coordinates received. We're preparing an orbital mech drop to reinforce your position. Hold fast, Colonel. Help is here.
This is Captain Alana Damu with the survivors of the 5th Certus Fusiliers. We don't have much left, but we are moving to assist. ETA 2 hours.
We're all coming to...
Salvation is here, Commander. I've marked a new exfil site on your map. Let's get out of here and join the others.
Already on our way, Rihanna. Yeah, looks like everybody is coming together. We're going to try and hold out until Sortek's reinforcements arrive. They must have been already burning into system before we even took down the jamming communication, or the jammers. We're done. Penultimate mission of Kestrel Lancers is clear. And I think we did pretty well. I was struggling to get a read on that cataphract at the end, but nobody had any armor blow-throughs that I spotted. So we should be good. Everyone should be healthy to roll straight into the final mission. Oh, a Grand Dragon! You know what, we've got so many bloody dragons, but we haven't got one like this. Here's the Assassin 101. Is this the new one? I forget that the numbers are confusing to me. I think the original one was the 21, and then there's a 25 and 26. And then there's the 101. Like, those numbers are so all over the place. But one of them is like an ancient Star League one that we saw Comstar use with the Ultra Autocannon. One of them is the Claw on the side of it. And the 101, I don't know what it is. Either way, I don't particularly want it. A Spider, we don't... Commando 2D, this is the original Commando, which we've still not used. And I can't get it. I think I've got so many it would be cool to have a Grand Dragon, but to be honest, we don't need it. We've got 2 Hero Dragons already, so let's go with this standard Commando, which I'm going to try and use at some point. I'd rather use the Brawler one with the SRMs than the large laser one, because a large laser is a good weapon to have where you can pick things off at a distance. But it doesn't do enough damage in isolation for it to be the main weapon of any mech at the stage of the game that we're in. Whereas this thing here with a combined 10 SRMs plus a little medium as well, it can still get in some rear armor and do some damage. I would actually like to use it at some point. I'm going to take those. The reason I'm taking these, even though we don't have any mechs that use them, I have seen Cantina missions request them. And since we've only got 3 of each, it's good to have more. take a random one of those. A couple of those. And then the rest is just whatever costs the most. Which I guess in this instance is... We did just cash in a bunch of locusts, didn't we? I think we got rid of 3 of them. I can't recall. Maybe I should get this, actually, and have another locust. Just so I can have one to cash in. I still can't even get it. Okay, alright. Right, that's how we'll do it. Our salvation is here. Rendezvous on my location, Commander. McCarrans won't let us regroup without a fight. Their reinforcements are too late. We will crush these fed rats under our boots before the heavy guards lay 1 foot on Sarna. Well, it's going to be a last stand then. Yeah, look at the Cyclops impressed me. 2,000 damage. Again, LRMs, it always inflates that damage. Because, yeah, we are actually doing it, but it's so spread out. It's not effective damage, or as effective as it could have been. Well done, team. Serena, it was your first outing there. You handled yourself well in Gandalf. You're almost halfway to being max on ballistics. Well, we got some of these. Did we do this warriors in like 2 missions? I feel like a lot of those warriors took care of themselves in the previous one. Fortified internal structure, level 2. This is a new upgrade we're going to need to stick on all our mechs. New, more shock-resistant fasteners are installed throughout the internal structure to allow for higher stress before failure. We have a payment due in 9 days. We have 87 million credits. Let's quickly take a picture of this, and then I'm going to... That's not the mech I wanted to take a picture of. And then I'm going to put it in the scrap heap. And I'll upgrade this as much as possible when it comes time to use it. I think I'm going to use it in the Kestrel Lancer's DLC bonus missions, the Hide Award quests. Because the Riser Razelhaig, I think, is already getting up there in tonnage. Wasn't there another one that I said I was going to use? We'll have a look. We'll have a look. And was there anything else? No. I've got so much junk in here. The Zeus, do I really need it? Probably not. This is my problem now. I've got so many... It's not a problem right now because we're all in one spot. But once we start traveling across the inner sphere and getting a ton of bills, suddenly the 3.3 million operating costs becomes just ridiculous. Let's repair all these. We don't need to put any thought into them. We don't have any news. We do have some Cantina missions. We can't do the Cicada one. We're not going here or there. So let's accept both of those and then trash them. Cantina. Accept. Okay, and then we'll get one last look at the Cantina mission before we leave at the end of this DLC. It is December 8th, 3029. Wow, we're much further down the timeline than I realized. We've been on Sarna a long time, stuck here for months on end. I'm pretty sure... Do you know what? We never checked the database for Ember. We did for the other hero mech. Firestorm here. But Ember we never did. I think it's called Ember anyway. Portia Torrent Ryan claims to be a relation of the famed pirate Redjack Ryan. Her timely interruption of an assassination attempt on Paula Lady Death Trevelyan? I want to say Trevelyan, but maybe that's not right actually. Trevelyan. Anyway, it's the what's it called? Lady Death of the Tortuga Dominions, a pirate queen on the complete opposite side of the inner sphere as Redjack Ryan. Her interruption of an assassination attempt quickly earned her the famed pirate's favor, as well as the command of Scourge Company. Obsessed with detail, Portia has served with distinction on several scouting missions along the Concordat border. Perhaps more distinctive, however, is her penchant for using her fire starter as to set off incredible conflagrations. Her obsessive nature is at work here too, as when these raging fires are viewed from above, they bear a remarkable symmetry that some liken to works of art. Some madmen liken to works of art. Blimey, look at this thing here. Perhaps it's this artistic mayhem that caused her to modify her mech, moving all the flamers into the arms for extra precision. It's two cool looking mechs. I would have liked to have had either of them. Instead, we have neither. Where am I getting the name of Ember from? I feel like that's correct, but it doesn't list it here. I must have seen it at some point on Sarna, I don't know. Okay, sorry, I forgot that that was something we'd come across in an earlier mission. So, I guess we are ready for the final stand. Commander, Captain Damu, we're about to engage in the fight for our lives. The Capellans must know that if they can't wipe us out before the heavy guards touch down on Sarna, it's over for them. Their only hope at maintaining control of the planet will be to utterly destroy our forces, so that when Colonel Sortek touches down, they'll have the numbers to fight him back. We've all gone through too much just to lose everything at the end. We need to muster whatever strength we have left, and hold the line until Colonel Sortek relieves us. Gather your best mechs, equipment, and mech warriors, and meet my Crater Cobras at the following coordinates. Prepare to give the Big Mac everything you've got. We did not go through 6 months of hell just to die on the day that reinforcements arrive. The only thing left to do is hold the line. We do that, and we will live to see tomorrow. Wow, what a speech. I'm psyched. Let's get into it. This is it, Commander. Colonel Arden Sortek is almost here. All that is left to do is hold out until his arrival. McAdams is going to throw everything they have to kill us before Sortek's reinforcements arrive. This is a fight for our very lives, so bring the biggest, baddest mechs you can muster, and we might actually make it off Sarna alive. 350 tons now is our tonnage limit, so we can take all assaults for sure. I was talking about tonnage as well. There are the Kestrel Lancer's DLC ones. The lowest there is 220, and I want to say the first Riser Razelheg mission is 250. So we still need a couple of those 65 tonners around, and I'll take the Commando at some point too. But yeah, other than that, we do need to kind of thin out our numbers. Although, like I said, we are getting to a stage where that's going to become a little bit easier. This is it, Commander. We've read it. Let's go. All salvage. All cash. We've made so much money. This has been very lucrative for us. Nothing is ready. We could drop with that, but we're not going to. Let's just take a bunch of heavy things, so I don't need to think right now. And then we will finesse it in a second. That's 350 tons exactly there. Can I do anything better, though? The King Crab is a good one for you. I'd rather have that than the Atlas. For sure. That's not the King Crab. You can hopefully get maxed with that. You need something with energy. So what is a primarily... I need to drop down to another 80 tonner. This one, why not? You need ballistics. So the Gauss is good for you. Gauss. I am going to... What state was Gandalf in? Oh, okay, no, I don't want to do 2 missions. Let's find something fitting for the end here. We can have 2 guys in Black Inferno. In fact, we could have all Black Inferno if we really wanted to, if we felt that way inclined. Oh, the Warhammer was the 4th one we had, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, well, we ain't got that. I want something better than the Victor, anyway. The Battlemaster's my only 85 ton, though, isn't it? So... do I take another Night Star? Potentially. It's not the only 85 tonner. I've had this Stalker the whole time. Damn it. Okay, well, you know what? I love the Stalker. Let's give it another outing. We need to give a paint scheme for Stabjorn and us in the Stalker, though. It was under repairs for so long. Literally, like, what was it? Halfway through the final campaign against Comstar. Until like just 2 or 3 levels ago that I actually forgot it was even in our arsenal. There we go. It's a smart look for a smart mech. I saw a thread on the MechWarrior subreddit the other day of someone ranking, a group of friends ranking the appearance of all the different mechs that had been released by CGL. And the Stalker was like right at the bottom of it, like one of the absolute worst. And that is a blasphemy as far as I'm concerned. Highlander was the other one we need to get. Say goodbye to this Comstar logo. Is there even any insignia in it? No, so it's just all white. Like the Vandenberg White Wings. No insignias to give any indication as to who you were fighting. The Com Guards are still... the successor states are aware of their existence, but the fact that they operate off Terra is very much a closely guarded secret. So they painted their mechs all white, devoid of any distinguishing features or insignia, and then over the years that became their iconic look, and so they just ran with it. And later, when Com Guards were more common knowledge and deployed out in the open, they just slapped a Comstar logo on and left the white look. Very distinctive. And I'm painting it. There we go. I don't like that so much as the Comstar look, but whatever. There we go. So we've got 2 green, 2 red, and that is how we're going to do this. I'm pretty sure of it. You need laser and missiles. So do I swap these two? I think I'm going to, actually. And that way the new guys will be in the red mechs, and me and Fenstrom, the veterans, will be in the green ones. Let's go. Final stand.
This is it, everyone. Colonel Sortek is on the verge of making planetfall, and is en route to our position. McCarran's knows that if we successfully relink with the Davian Heavy Guards, they're done for. So, they're gonna throw everything they have at us trying to put us in the ground before Colonel Sortek's reinforcements arrive. We've spent the past 6 months in hell, cowering and sulking in the shadow of those bastards, trying to survive against unprecedented circumstances.
I forgot we have a Jägermech too, don't we?
No air support, no way of communicating with the jump point. Hell, we even made it by with no HPG, completely blind to the rest of the inner sphere. We made it through all of that. But today, finally, we can stand tall against these Capellan bastards.
Yeah, too right.
Today is a day of retribution. Today we are finally taking the fight to them.
Great speech, Restrick.
I'm not one for speeches as eloquent as our mercenary friends. We have been struggling to survive since the Grey River ran red with the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters. Just remember, they're still here. They're watching over us, and today, God willing, we will avenge their deaths. For New Certus, for House Hasek.
We have contacts. Dead ahead. All forces fire at will. Stay in cover and support one another. Don't let them spill 1 more ounce of Cobra's blood today.
Commander, Colonel Westrick is right about one thing. The McCarran's forces will be relentless. There's no telling when the Davion Heavy Guards will make it to the field. So we need to support one another if we're going to make it out of this alive. Tread carefully, Commander.
Copy, Deanna.
New target.
Raven incoming.
Go to base. Sighting on hostile forces. Moving to strike.
I forgot I got launch lasers as well.
Target acquired. Incoming missile.
Short burst range is a little bit shorter, but we can still burn through them.
Destroyed. Target.
Requested target ID received. Engaging.
Let's not be too stationary. Don't want to make their lives too easy. Oh my goodness, I can see 2 others as well. Blackjack as well. Let's move left here.
Commander's kill. Wait for it.
Focus fire. Okay, I need to stop firing LRMs. It's no longer optimal. I need to watch my heat. That Marauder needs to clear my line of fire. I need to not be overrun by this cataphract.
6 months. McCarran and his cronies have taken 6 months and hundreds of our brothers and sisters' lives with them. Fusiliers, make them pay.
Let's get this guy's aggro because he's shooting my team in the back. Cataphract's gone.
Let's burn it
Someone just ghost rifled them in the front. I hope that wasn't one of my mechs ejecting.
Critical. Target destroyed.
Where's my Marauder? I'm a bit worried about that. He's yellow. Okay, so we're fine. And the ghost rifle, I think, was good too. Don't know where the Jaeger's at. This is a good point to hold for the Stalker. Long sight lines. Jaeger's full health. Marauder's mostly fine. King Grab's also good. Highlander's perfect. I'm the one who's taking the hits. Now we're going to take more hits by the looks of things. Someone fire ghosts at them.
Firing on the commander's requested
It
target.
looks like 2 Vindicators over there, but I can't really tell at this range. They're within 675. Let's open up with those. It's another medium, whatever it is.
That reactor's about to go.
Target acquired.
Thank you, Marauder.
Incoming missile.
They're on chain fire. I didn't even notice that.
Destroyed. Target.
Copy. We're on it, sir.
Hunchback at the front as a death wish. Someone's flanking us.
Lance target confirmed.
I'm going to deal with him.
Firing.
Me and the Jaeger mech are on him.
Reactor explosion imminent.
Forces of the Federated Suns. My Davion heavy guards have
Sortex
just
here.
touched down. Our rushed mech drops scattered us across a wide area. We are reforming our lances and about to move on your position.
No,
now.
not the Hunchback.
ETA 2 minutes. Hold out just a little longer.
Come on, team. Help that Hunchback out. Where's the Blackjack? There he is. The amount of firepower this thing has.
Target destroyed.
We've pushed them back all the way down here. Oh, someone's taking pot shots through the gaps. Let's hold.
Target acquired.
Wilco, focusing fire.
Heavy at the back there. We're too close. We want more range. Oh, an assault at the back there. Back it up. We've got cover. Let's use it.
Incoming missile.
Kill the mech.
Destroyed.
Focusing the
Get a
shared
fract.
target.
Alright. Blackjack, you want to play this game with me? The Highlander will help me out here.
Incoming missile.
One down.
Target
We'll
destroyed.
obliterate that target and pop that blood back inside it.
Get him, team.
That makes it.
I see friendlies on the field. Oh, I've overheated myself. Don't lose anything at the end here.
Target acquired.
Forces of the Federated Suns.
Friendlies are here.
Davion heavy guards are here to assist. It's time to take the fight to McCarran's armored cavalry.
That's our cue, Commander. One last push and then it's over. Let's finish this.
Target destroyed.
Assault. There's another Stalker. Oh, just hit the heat there. 100. Just popped up on screen for a second.
Target acquired. System off.
Damn it, okay.
To all forces of the Federated Suns, we have cleared the field. Sarna is ours.
Yes!
Commander, I just want to say thank you. If you hadn't come to help us all those months ago, I have no doubt in my mind that we would have died like the rest of our brothers and sisters in the 5th.
You handled yourself well,
We'll never
Damu.
forget what you did for us.
Likewise, Captain. Without you, we would never have been able to complete our mission for the Kestrel Lancers. Now let's all fall back in with the heavy guards and finally get some R&R. It's been one hell of a campaign.
It has been. It's been a great DLC. I've absolutely loved the Kestrel Lancers DLC. I've never done Rise of Razelhaig or Dragon's Gambit, but I'm very excited to see how they compare. Like I said, I've never completed the main campaign. I've made it to the end of Act 2 before, so in a sense I'm further than I've ever been. The only things missing are some of the Kestrel Lancer's high reward quests, the bonus missions. Awesome! Awesome, and we get another Stalker for our trouble. Look how many Blackjacks. Blackjacks are like probably the most plentiful mech in the whole game. Vindicators give them a run for their money in Capellan territory. I'm going to take a second Stalker. If only to cash it in. It's very unlikely we get asked to cash it in. But it's more likely we get than these EW ones, which I might as well take an extra of. Oh, no, I will not, because they are way too much. So let's take this. And there we go, we're done. Mercenaries and Fusiliers, your bravery in the face of death is to be commended. Stand down and get some R&R. The Davian Heavy Guards will take things from here. Everyone, fall back to the dropships. Sarna is lost. The armoured cavalry will live to fight another day. They will. We heard Archibald McCadden's voice at the end there. I did talk over it a bit, but like when there's that much chaos going on screen, it's difficult to even kind of acknowledge what's going on over the chatter. Excellent, excellent. Well done, team. And look, oh my goodness, what a bounty of parts here. Double heat sinks, which we really need. LB10Xs, we haven't got a single thing that uses them, or the Artemis LRM-10s. But we do have, I think, an ER large laser on the King Crab. And an ultra autocannon on some of our lighter heroes. Message from Marshal Jackson Davian. Commander, I've just received your report from Arden Sortek. I cannot tell you how glad I am to hear that you made it through the Sarna campaign. When I heard of the armoured cavalry ambush and the HBG being destroyed, I feared that I may have condemned you all to death. You had all of the Kestrel Lancers worried for you. While I am sorry that I cannot be there on Sarna to debrief you in person, there is still much for me to do here on Tigris. Please accept this canned message as your formal debriefing. By the time Comstar is able to deliver this message to you, our offensive, which the news feeds have been taken to calling the Fourth Succession War, will be over. As I speak, Comstar is negotiating the end to all hostilities between the five great houses. When all is said and done, the Capellan Confederation will have to capitulate that it has lost over half of its former territories. Most of it to be claimed by House Davian through right of conquest, but some by two former Capellan commonalities declaring independence from the Confederation. Well, we've heard of one already. The first to break away was the Tikhonov commonality. They were holding out hope that the Confederation would come to their aid, but after being cut off from a direct logistical route to Cyan, they eventually declared independence to spare their citizens from further Davian invasions. You won't believe who leads them. Our old friend Pavel Rydzik. After he managed to escape our forces and fled Tikhonov, Strategic Director Rydzik retreated to Elgin, where he took control of the region, declaring himself Supreme Lord of the Tikhonov Free Republic. His reign didn't last long. An assassin killed him back in June. The other breakaway faction is the St. Ives commonality. The former heir of the Confederation, Candice Liao, abandoned her father to declare her province independent from the Confederation. I can't imagine how Maximilian Liao is taking that one. Comstar is negotiating to formally recognize these independent provinces as new nations once their leaders can charter the new laws of their provisional governments. Be sure to be on the lookout for those two once all the dust settles later this year. Yes, we will see them on the map pretty soon. I don't think it updates immediately, but certainly by 3031 they will be present. I'll try and point them out at the time if I remember. So Pavel Rydzik, he may have survived that first assassination attempt, which pushed him into Federated Sun's camp, but he was not long for this world. He was taken out, and indeed with his death, it's difficult to know what kind of future the Tikhonov Free Republic has. The St. Ives commonality, though, or the St. Ives Compact, has a much stronger future. When Candice Liao fled Cyan, she did so with all of her family's wealth. It was the greatest stockpile of works of art and ancient artifacts and jewelry and what have you that any individual is in possession of or any individual family is in possession of within the inner sphere, outdoing even the other successor states. And so Candice Liao loading it all into her dropships and absconding with it was a humiliation for those guys. I just realized we got even more stuff over here. It's just ammo. Yeah, and she used that wealth, a large part of it, to form her new realm, the Compact, and to get everything up and running. The St. Ives Compact, or Commonality, had not been attacked at all during the Fourth Succession War, if I remember correctly. So they were mostly unscathed. But Maximilian Liao had a complete mental break after the loss of half of his realm, essentially. More than that, 3 commonalities are gone. Sarna went into the hands of Federated Sons after this. And yeah, his heir and oldest daughter leaving. His son, Tormana, was also taken prisoner by the Federated Sons, leaving only the mad Romana, his younger daughter, to pick up the reins, what was left of the Capellan Confederation. There's a few other things that could be said about that, but I'll wait until this debriefing's over, just in case it's mentioned here. The next item we'll need to discuss is the destruction of Sarna's HPG. After the Fusiliers destroyed the HPG, Comstar was furious with the Federated Sons. Claiming us ultimately responsible for its destruction, they put the entirety of the Federated Sons under interdiction, cutting off interstellar communications and commerce between the hundreds of Federation worlds. So we mentioned how destructive that was for the Free Worlds League, but Hansa Davian had a little bit of a plan to get around it, anticipating that Comstar might decide to involve themselves. Your report about the imposter Fusiliers captured by Captain Damu couldn't have come at a worse time. Had we known about this a month ago, we would have been able to mount a defense against Comstar's accusations. But First Prince Davian has already agreed to allow Comstar to station their own mech security forces at every HPG in the Federation to ensure that such a debacle never happens again. I talked a second ago about the Comguards becoming more public knowledge as they deployed off Terra publicly for the first time, and this is that event. They started infiltrating the other successor states around this time, and over the next decade, Comguards are going to appear at the HPG stations of every great house. It's much too late to defend our role in the Sarna HPG attack now, even if we now know that we were not responsible for its destruction. The interdiction, along with the war effort, sent the Federated Sons' economy into a tailspin. Had they maintained their interdiction, Comstar could very much have bankrupted the entire Federation. And indeed, the damage to the Federated Sons' economy was something that the people who were opposed to the alliance, the Fedcom alliance in the first place, particularly within the Lyden Commonwealth, pointed to as Davian warmongers causing trouble, and Lyden citizens having to foot the bill because their industry was far less affected. They were not under interdiction. And then Davian needed to be bailed out at the end of this, having rewarded himself, won all the glory for House Davian that he wanted. Now it was up to the Lydens, House Steiner, to pay the bill. The lack of the what's it called, tailspin economy here brings me to the most uncomfortable part of this debrief. Commander, the Federated Sons can no longer financially support the remainder of our contract with your unit. I'm to inform you that we are invoking our cancellation clause and releasing you from the remaining 4 months of your contract. You will be compensated for this with your agreed upon MRB release bonus. I'm sorry our time together had to end like this, Commander, but it's completely out of my hands. The Crucis Lancers won't be escaping these budget cutbacks either. While for the time being my command will still exist on paper, for the most part, most of my personnel of the 2nd Crucis Lancers has been consolidated into the 3rd Crucis under Marshal Pedrosa's command and will continue to garrison Tigris. That's got to sting a little bit after Pedrosa was injured in battle and Jackson Davian took over and handled himself well by all accounts. He is losing his command. I currently exist to ensure that the Kestrel Lancers continue to be a paper tiger to our enemies while the Federation's economy recovers from the war. But I won't let this deter me. I forged the Kestrel Lancers from nothing once, and I can do it again. Although you won't be around to help me this time, Commander, I'll never forget the contributions you and your team made to keep the legend of the Kestrel Lancers alive. We'll be back, and stronger than ever. You'll see. Goodbye, my friend, until we meet again. Excellent. We're very nearly at the end now. We've just got a couple other things to wrap up. We can look at the star map now, take one last mental image of how it looks, because the next time we see the star map, it will be very different. When we reach 3030, all the end result of the Fourth Succession War will be reflected in this, and you will see that the Compelling Confederation is a heck of a lot shorter, shorter I guess, it's cut in half at the waist than you last knew it. Talking about the St. Ives Compact that's going to appear just here, one of the founder of it, Candice Liao, when she fled and betrayed her family, she did so hand in hand with Justin Xiang, that man that we heard about being exiled from the Federated Suns, winning a name for himself with the world of Solaris over here, and then being recruited to the Maskarovka, was actually, after all this time, a double agent, never stopped working for House Davian and his father, Quintus Allard, and the MWIO. All those controls he was putting in about information needing to be verified at the different commonality capitals before making its way back to Cyan was so that a smaller amount of information was reaching the capital, an amount that he could personally go over and pick through and remove anything that might have jeopardized Operation Rat. And so it was a masterminded plan, begun all the way back in late 3025 when Operation Doppelganger, House Liao's plan to replace Hansa Davian with a clone, that operation that Arden Sortek, our friend, foiled and won the Diamond Sunburst and the Medal Excalibur for his efforts. That was the other campaign, or the other operation apart from Stein's Folly capture that won him that acclaim. Yeah, he ran and ended up marrying Candice Liao. Sorry, I got a bit tongue-tied and lost my chain of thought at the end there. But we will finish up with a few things here. Do we have Tier 3 SRM2s and Tier 4 machine guns? Let's check. Tier 4 machine guns. Yes, but not enough of them. Do we have Tier 3 SRM2s? Yes, but not enough of them. So we're not going to take either of those. We've got a Narc at some point. We've picked it up. And instead, we will pick up this. And one more thing to do is check another transmission here. Federated Suns, message from Arden Sortek. Commander, I'm sorry to see that COC Command, I think one of the C's in COC is Command, is it not already? ATM machine saw the need to cut your contract short, but I am told it could not be helped. No one could have anticipated Comstar's interdiction or the economic crash that preceded it. Although the Federated Suns is still willing to offer you short-term localized contracts, I'm afraid that any long-term commitment is simply not on the table until our unification into the Federated Commonwealth next year. Next decade more like. It's not until their militaries don't join until 3041, I don't think. And even then, it's not until the heir of Hansa Davian and Melissa Steiner is born and takes official rule from his or her parents that the Federated Commonwealth will officially come into being. Speaking of the interdiction here, I mentioned Mindu Waterley. She was the one responsible for carrying out that raid on the Sarna HPG and framing the Federated Suns, so she had justification to go to the Primus and say, look, we need an interdiction against Hansa Davian right now. But she didn't stop there. The member of ROM that we captured alongside Alana Damu, they also mentioned an attack against the NAIS, which was carried out also by other Comstar agents with ROM, disguising their efforts as members of the Death Commandos. And Hansa Davian himself was swept up in that raid. I can't remember whether he was a target or not, but he was present and had to fight for his life. And if memory serves, he ended up killing 2 whole lances single-handedly at the controls of his Battlemaster. He is He may not have taken to the field since Mallory's World, but he is still very much... Oh, sorry, it's not Mallory's World. Halstead Station. Mallory's World is where his brother lost his life. Yeah, he's still an excellent pilot by all accounts. First Prince Davian has asked me to relay you a message on his behalf. And I just remembered as well, there was a mention of a Capellan counterattack against Cathil. The Death Commandos were also participating in that. And when the Federated Suns realized that a greater number of Death Commandos appeared in 2 places at once, more than were officially on the rolls, that something fishy was going on. And yeah, we're able to suss out that one other party, probably Comstar, was responsible for one or other of the attacks that they had come under, and also deduced that Comstar was most likely the one who had attacked the Sarna HPG. Anyway, he asked me to commend you on your work, on your good work throughout your campaign on behalf of the 2nd Crucis Lancers. The Lancers owe you a debt of gratitude for being such a reliable force throughout the 4th Succession War. Unfortunately, Commander, Hansa has also deemed that large amounts of your campaign for the Federated Suns are to be expunged from the official record and classified as top secret. Your inclusion on the 2nd Crucis' roster, the hidden Earthworks factory that we now possess, the stolen MWIO codebooks, and how close the enemy was to getting them, your mission on Sarna, and your capture of the true assailants of the Sarna HPG attack. All of these things will be classified as state secrets and are never to be mentioned or talked about again. While I know it stings, this is often just how the way things are for a mercenary, just like your father knew when he agreed to the Halstead Station contract. It's the game's clever way of saying you'll never read about the Cavaliers participating in any of these events, but as far as I'm concerned, this is canon to me, goddammit. Although we aren't in a position to financially compensate you in the same way we rewarded your father for his loyalty and silence, with our landhold on Deberry, we do have some early prototypes from the new Avalon Institute of Science that Hansa would like to give to you, even more than the ones we received at the end of the last mission. An additional LB-10X, that's good. Prototypes we would have never achieved had it not been for the service of both you and your father. Hansa hopes these prototypes serve you well, and wants you to know that once the unification of the Federated Commonwealth is final, you have a place among us if you choose to join our cause. I hope you consider and take Hansa up on that offer. The Federated Commonwealth can use all the help we can get by making a better, more peaceful inner sphere. Until then, Commander, this is goodbye. Thank you, Arden Sortek. It's great to have one of the novel's protagonists, even if he is the protagonist of one of the worst novels present in this game all the same. I have a soft spot for him because The Sword and the Dagger was the first novel I ever read in the Battletech franchise. I know I had bad luck there, but it was my own doing. I knew it was rubbish going into it, and it did not disappoint. I stand by the fact that the first third of that book is actually very well is actually very good BT fiction, but then it just absolutely goes off the rails in the last half. Okay, I think we are done. That's it. God, it's been a long episode here, but we have successfully captured Sarna. I'm tempted just to make one jump, just so you can see the effect, but no, we'll leave that until next time. Speaking of, our next priority transmission is mid-3031, if memory serves, where we're going to be coming up to, if it's not Gunsberg here, it's like some Radstad or something, up in this region of space. How much time do I have before then? Not a lot, but potentially enough to go by a number of military academies and drop off at least 3 of our pilots. That's going to be Freeman, Goblin, and Shenzheng. What else I might try to do is, we got a message from Rihanna here, and if I accept that, it's going to open up a bunch of additional conflict zones on the map. And each time you go to a conflict zone and complete a mission there, I think you get an additional bonus reward for completing that transmission's little quest. And so if I've got time, I might try to do 3 of those, and then the 4th one is going to be up where our DLC priority transmission is going to be anyway. So I'll bundle all of those into the start of the next episode with Rise of Ra's al Hague alongside going by the military academies. But I'm going to need to do some tests to actually see how long it's going to take me to traverse the inner sphere multiple times over. Because I think there's one down here, one up here, one over here, and one up there. So you can see they're very spread out. And a year and a half is not a lot of time to visit all those locales, especially if you're stopping a long way to go to, I don't know, New Avalon Military Academy. But that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will be back soon with another video, and I hope you join me again then for that.